Welcome. We're back. We're doing a live stream again of the Hard Rock Show. It's been a little while, but I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
We've got a lot to get through as always. So tonight we're going to talk about the newest albums from Psycroptic and H.E.A.T. We're going to chat about a classic from Megadeth, which we have a special guest joining us who's already in the waiting room there. I can see you there, Conrad. So good to have you there. We'll also chat about some new singles from Alter Bridge, Slipknot, Orpheus Omega, PurEnvy, Stratovarius, and Wednesday 13. We've got heaps of shit going on tonight. It's going to be nuts. I'm going to also a big shout out to our fantastic sponsors, Squitting, Scrimping, Alt Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Give them a like or a follow. That'd be greatly appreciated. Their details, just like ours, are in the description box. So everything you need to know is in there. There's links to everything we're talking about tonight in that little description box as well. So everything you need, check out the description box, whether you're watching this live or tuning in later on. Doesn't matter. It'll all be there. So check out all that for all the information you need and more. Quickly going to apologize for the last few weeks. This is on me. I was actually a bit unwell, not COVID or anything like that, which is actually kind of funny, but it's kind of hard to do a live stream when you can't really fucking talk. So things are a little bit challenging. So we did a filming session for the first time in close to a month, I think, Dave, on Sunday last. And my voice lasted about an hour. So we'll see. We've got about an hour, and then we'll see how I go tonight. It's a bit better today, but we'll see how we go. So if you hear me coughing and spluttering away, don't worry. It's just me still trying to get the last of this shit out of my system. So apologies all. We're back. And
imagine you not being able to talk, man.
Sorry, what was that?
I can't imagine you not being able to talk. It must drive you nuts.
Yeah, and Jody was very thankful. So that's how it works. No, it's not normal for me. I haven't had a problem like that since I was a kid, I don't think. So it was just one of those. You go and get a PCR test, and they test for fucking everything because you're symptomatic and all sort of stuff, and nothing, not the flu, not COVID, not the RSV, whatever it is they're testing for as well. None of it, just some random virus that kicked around, and it was TC that got taken out by one as well. So I think it's just a nasty one's going around. So hopefully everyone's keeping well out there. Make sure you're looking after yourselves and all the usual stuff. And, we'll get stuck into another show. But, got some comments. Good to see people here joining us again. So Nicole's joined us saying, evening all. Good to see you again, Nicole. Thanks for jumping in. Craig, good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well as well. Sally's going, hey, guys, missed you. Don't worry, we've missed you too. It's been a fucking weird and wacky few weeks. It's been all I can sort of do to get through the day job and then come home and sort of crash out. Darren's gone, hey, all. Good to see you again, buddy, as well. And another Darren is saying was having withdrawal symptoms. Don't worry, so are we. We've actually kind of missed this one a fair bit. Man, family, good to see you again. Rock on as always. We do our best. Rowan's gone with the horns as always. Good to see you here too. Craig, monkeypox. No little lesions or nothing like that coming out of me. If I get bumps and lumps, I'll put a photo up on Instagram. We'll see how it goes. Like the latest
bumps and lumps.
His lumps and bumps are all over Instagram at the moment if you want to go and check that out. Rowan's got the same idea, monkeypox probably. Yeah, we're getting through the monkeypox phase. Let's see. But Belle, good to see you. She's gone, hi guys, great to see you. Good to see you again as well. Sorry again for the last few weeks, but we've got a lot to get through and we're back onto the usual routine of things as we roll on through. So let's get into do the rounds actually. I haven't done that for a while. So apart from the obvious, Dave, how you going?
Yeah, I'm good. Had a bit of free time in the last few weeks, so I've just been playing a lot of guitar and listening to lots of music. And my daughter started watching Stranger Things, so we're through season 1. Give her a bit of a treat on Friday night. She can stay up late and watch some episodes. So she's like the coolest kid in her class because no one else is allowed to watch it.
Ah, that's cool.
So yeah, cool. That's cool. But still considering season 4. I'll probably just cover her eyes when it comes to the broken bones, but that's in a few more weeks until we get to that. And yeah. We're under 1 month away until Cobra Kai season 5. So if you're on my Facebook, I'm going to get really obnoxious really quickly over the next few weeks. You might want to unfollow me. I'm giving you fair warning in advance.
Yes.
Apart from that, another thing I like to be obnoxious about, Wednesday 13 dropped a new song today we're talking about later. Yep. And the album's coming up, so I will become even more obnoxious. So if you're following me on Facebook, you probably want to unfriend me.
And this is coming into Halloween. And then Christmas, and you go ham on those as well. So,
and I'm still expecting the Usual Illusion 30th anniversary box set. It should be around September. It'll be coming very soon. If it's going to happen, there'll be an announcement very soon.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So everyone who's following Dave or anything like that, then you're going to be in for a treat. Let me know how you go.
I'm going to see Kiss as well in a couple of weeks, so fuck, it's all happening.
I think you, between now and the end of the year, you're just going to be Captain Obnoxious for a while, I think.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's so not. Do what you want, man. It's all fun for me watching as a spectator. I don't see much on social. I'm usually too busy, but it's fun.
I always burnt my work down too for those. I told Andrew about this when we filmed on the weekend, but I started a little fire at work. It started as a little fire, then slowly became a big fire, or quickly became a big fire, and then I bolted for the fire extinguisher and managed to put it out. But it was quite exciting at the time.
Your idea of fun is very different to mine. But did you get that footage? You said there were cameras. Did you get the footage?
No. I don't think they want to give it to me. Because they know what I'm like. They'll probably figure it'll end up on Instagram. It probably will.
Send it to me. I'll put it on TV.
Yeah.
Benny Hill music. That's what I'll do.
That would be brilliant. Right. Have you set anything on fire recently? Let us know.
Don't incriminate yourself online while doing it, though. Don't want to get responsible for that. But fire is fun, though. I will say that. Anything else?
That's pretty much me.
All right, I can't talk. You're burning shit down. We've had a good few weeks. There's literally nothing to report from me, seriously. It's just been sort of grinding out what I can do to get through the last few weeks. I've been able to sort of get through the day to day, but doing anything extra has been taxing, to say the least. So having my first sort of sick days in years, actually, at the day job that was a long time coming. So hadn't called in sick for years and years and years, and that was a first. So that wasn't a fun feeling. I don't like doing that. I'm just one of those people. But everything else, I'm lucky that it's quiet enough that the day job I was able to sort of work while sort of recovering for the most part. So it's all right. And it's around that, just been doing stuff with the family where I can and relaxing and resting and doing all the usual things supposed to try and get yourself better again. It's just fucked how it just lingers. But anyway, I'm doing all right at the moment. Better these days than it was the last few weeks. But my weeks have not been anywhere near as entertaining as Dave's has. So follow him for more fun than me. I'm pretty boring. What do we got here? Bash is saying, good evening, missed you. Yes, we have missed everyone out there as well. So there we go. Good to see you again too. Nudes here. Hi, lads. Trying to join in amongst kids and meltdowns. Good luck with that, Nudes. I don't envy that. I don't miss that. Our kids are a bit older than that at my end. And same for you, Dave. I think actually yours probably up.
They're past them out on stage now.
Yeah. So good luck, Nudes. Good to have you here with us though. Hopefully you're enjoying things here. Wayne saying, what's up, gents? Hope all is well. Love the show. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for the kind words. Good to see you. Same with Chris Dyke. Good evening. Good to see you again as well, buddy. And Bell has gone, awesome. Friend request coming your way, Dave. So there we go. Go for it. Vinny's gone, been such a long time, lads. Last time you were on Neighbours, we're still on TV, and we're only a fourth Omicron variant. That's actually probably true. It's disturbing. So there we go. Sally, it's funny that Dave is a bit dizzy over the Cobra Kai thing. Been there. Not Cobra Kai, though. Oh, well, there we go. Bash says, Tom Hill, whiskey can also help keep away the bugs. I'm on the port at the moment, so that's doing me some good. Whiskey at the moment. I should get some more. But Gear, good to see you again. Hello, all Vikings and Viking Queen. We're coming out with a new album in October. Nice, Skull, beautiful. Keep us in the loop with that one, please do. Alrighty, let's get to some random news here quickly. And the first one, it's out of our wheelhouse, but we'd be remiss to not acknowledge it at least. And that is the passing of Olivia Newton-John. That's surprise or not, I don't know, but it was a big one. There'll be a state funeral, I believe, for that as well. But that's for many of us, that's a fundamental part of growing up, is seeing or hearing some of the work that she's done over the years. So again, not necessarily in a wheelhouse, but you got to pay respect where it's due to someone that had a career like that. What did you think when you heard the news, Dave?
Yeah, I knew she'd been sick on and off. I knew all the work that she'd done. I knew that she'd opened that hospital. So it's always sad to lose an Australian icon. wouldn't say I was a fan of any of her work. I don't like Grease. I don't like Xanadu. That song's fucking shit to me, to be honest. But yeah, she's put a hell of a lot of stuff back into Australia and to medical research and so forth. So it's definitely a loss for a lot of the places that she was helping out, and for her friends and family and fans, it's condolences all around.
No, I grew up with a fair bit of that playing in the house. It was one of the things we were allowed to watch was Olivia Newton-John stuff. And that sounded worse than it actually meant it to be, actually. But anyway, it's weird. But no, we're able to check out a fair bit of that catalog. So it's one of those things that we did grow up with in the house. And so, and again, going back to the classical background for me, it was, always able to appreciate the voice and the talent. But yeah, I think more than anything else, the philanthropy, the work she put in later years in particular was what really stands out to me. When people, sort of give back a bit more than they kind of actually took away, that's kind of remarkable. So hopefully she's remembered. I personally hope that, that sort of stuff gets more talked about than just purely the artistic work that she did leave behind. But either way, both legacies are fantastic. And yeah, condolences to her family and those that knew her and loved her, because yeah, none of those things are easy. And some of the tributes that have been pouring out, absolutely, sort of heart-tugging stuff, some of the words. But yeah, well done all around for the nice tributes. And hopefully everyone gets to remember her in their own way, in their own time. On to happier things, though. We also celebrated, we're going to quickly touch on this, we celebrated 10 years on TV last month. My God. So it's 11 years of the show being... I don't know how we've been on TV for 10 years. We're on again tonight in Channel 4 in Adelaide on Channel 44. So if you want to tune in 10:30 p.m. local time, by all means, go for it. But yeah, it's bonkers to think that we've been swearing and drinking and playing music on telly for a decade plus now. I don't know how we got away with it for so long, but we have. Dave, you started off watching the show and then you joined the show. How does it all feel for you on the us looking in and then being a part of it?
It's not amazing. It still kind of fucks with my head, because I just remember Julia once said, "Oh, there's a show on Channel 31 you probably like. It's about hard rock. It's called The Hard Rock Show." Like, oh, okay, we'll tape it one night. We'll watch it the next day.
Yeah.
Like a year later, I'm like on the show. I'm like, fuck that. The first episode I was on just tripped me out, and now I'm like a regular. And I guess I just don't know when to quit. I'm like a rash. I'm not going away. But it has been a hell of a lot of fun. And like you say, drinking and swearing on television is fucking great.
You get away with it.
But in all seriousness, though, we've found some fucking amazing music, and we've met a lot of really cool people along the way, and hopefully we've helped out a lot of bands as well and helped people discover some cool music. So yeah, win-win all around as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's from my end of things, yeah, it's exactly what you said there. Just the like, it's funny because we did the 2-hour presentation dedicated to the bands we'd found over the last 10 years on TV, and we didn't even scratch the surface of how many bands we could have played between us. And so that's the really cool thing. Finding great music, meeting great people. The community around it all is really fucking awesome to be a part of, which is fantastic. The support of the network, and then also the other side of things, like going through the ringer of network shutdowns or the license being removed and all that kind of crap too. It's like, fuck. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster over the last decade, but it's been a hell of a lot of fun, a lot of work as well, but a hell of a lot of fun. And it's just funny how things sort of shift and move, but you sort of keep doing it and people still keep watching. So thank you to everyone for tuning in, because it wouldn't be, we would do it anyway, but it's a lot more fun if you'll watch it. So that's for our little 10:30 p.m. on a Saturday night time slot in Melbourne, and then 10:30 Thursdays in Adelaide. It's been pretty fucking good. So Adelaide hasn't been as long as 31 in Melbourne, but yeah, it's been good. And we also, last year we topped it all off with winning this thing too, that was nice. Cool. The antenna award thing there. So still lives here on the stage.
You could have gone to the award ceremony, man. Fucking COVID, fucking lockdown.
I know. The thing is, right
there when they read out our name, that would have been like, "Are you sure? What the fuck?"
I wasn't going to prepare anything. Like I thought we were no chance. I told you all that I wasn't going to bother even writing a thank you note. It was like, yeah, whatever. Going to be there as a
list of fuck yous.
Basically, we were going to do that. And then we won, and it was like, you fucking what now? So yeah, probably. I think for everyone's sanity, it was better that it didn't go ahead live in person, because we were the first award announced. I reckon the feed had been cut after that. So, but yeah, it's It's been a wild ride, a lot of fun, and here's to many more years to come. And we're not going anywhere. We still do the streams, still do TV. We just keep finding new strings back to the bow. So keep on keeping on. That's what we do here. That's been the motto of the whole thing along the way. Back on to Olivia for a second. Sally's gone. Olivia did a lot of people with cancer, including my sister in 2020. She deserves a state funeral, I think. That's nice to hear there. Good words there from Sally. Terry's here saying, hi, guys. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us tonight. Basher says, Olivia was a special, beautiful soul, a true Australian icon, and I'm saddened but blessed. That's true as well. Very nice words there yet again. What have we got? Okay, Gear has said in October we'll rise up Canada TV USA. Oh, that's right. They're doing a documentary movie about Viking Queen. So that's cool. Keep us in the loop with that one as well, because I do want to check that out. What do we got here? Vinny says, I hope everyone caught Dave using the phrase taped the show, had Gen X written. Yeah.
I mean that literally. We had a VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah, we literally taped it. Fucking boxes or whatever that the young folk are doing, we videotaped it.
Funniest thing is, right, the first submissions each week I'd have to burn a DVD to send to the network, and if it didn't get posted in time I'd have to drive it in to take it to them, and then it changed from DVD to USB, and now it's all via servers and that. So I'm glad for that kind of thing, because now it doesn't matter where I am, I can send an episode. I have sent episodes to the network from Queensland before, so that's been that's how far things have come versus when I used to have to drive it in at like 10 o'clock at night when I'd finished it to the out of hours Dropbox that they had. So, you do that driving from Cranbourne when I was living there to the city to drop off an episode, and then driving back to go to work the next day, and now I can send things wherever I'm in the world. So, a lot of things have changed, but yeah, we haven't really improved much. But I'll take it as it is. Sally's gone, I've discovered in your absence I have an addiction to your show. Well, that's good and bad, I think. I don't know if I'd want anyone to be addicted to us, but no, in all seriousness, it's great to have people that love watching us and tuning in via TV or this one here. I do love having, as my wife says, I love having an audience, but it's not just about that. It's just that, we love having a good community around it all, and I'm glad that you've found one here, Sally. It's good to have you with us. What do we got here? So Vinny says, do you recall which version is Windows you were using at the time, Andrew? I wasn't using Windows to edit. I had XP on my computer, one computer. I've been using iMacs and MacBook Pros for the editing side of things since the beginning. Started off on iMovie. Now I use Final Cut Pro these days. So there you go. I don't know what version of iMovie it was, though, but it was back in 2011, so someone can go back and do the math on that one for me. Basher says, congratulations on your 11 years of this great show. I've been watching rock pop shows for 60 years, and this show is the best. Drink up, rock on. Great motto. Cheers, Basher. Very kind words. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Good to have you with us as well as always. I said that before, I know, but I just love having the people here with us. Alrighty, let's quickly go through the release list for this week, and that's due out tomorrow. Let's get through it quickly. We've got A to Z with A to Z. Arch Enemy are dropping their new album, though, Deceivers. You got Erroneous with Ikala, Bitter End with Harsh Realities re-release, Boris with Heavy Rocks, Collective Soul with Vibrating, Arabelle Tour with Notram, that's another re-release. Then you got Generation Radio releasing the self-titled. Then you got Hollywood Undead releasing Hotel California with California with a K. Hydra are releasing Point Break. Locrian are releasing New Catastrophism. Nordic Union are releasing Animalistic. Norma Jean with Death Rattle Sing For Me. Of Virtue have an EP coming out called Sinner. Restless Spirits are releasing Second to None. Seventh Storm are releasing Maledictus. Sunstorm are releasing Brothers in Arms. Unprocessed are releasing Gold. And then finally, Vanden Plus are releasing the Live and Immortal DVD and CD. What sort of gets your attention out of the release list for this week, Dave?
Out of all that, I think Arch Enemy stands out the most. The last couple of singles that they've released have been pretty interesting. So I'm keen to check out this album based on what I've heard so far. And Nordic Union, I think we did one of their albums a couple of years ago. I'm not too sure. Yeah. If it's what I think it was, they were pretty good. So yeah, definitely give that one a listen as well.
Cool. Yeah, for me, Arch Enemy, definitely. The singles have been great, but they've got a pretty good catalog in general. What else have we got? Hollywood Undead are usually interesting too. I think we have covered one or two of their releases over the years as well. They're an interesting sort of band. Hydra, interesting too. Nordic Union, definitely. That's one that I did like last time around, and I would be very keen to hear more. But also the same with Sunstorm. They've had a bit of a lineup change, and some people weren't happy with that. But I don't mind what I'm hearing from the band, so that'll be pretty cool, I reckon. Sunstorm. It's talented musicians doing things that they do, so you know what's not to like. But no, I'm keen for that one as well. Those are the ones that grab my attention most. Let us know out there what's got your attention, people. But Rowan here is looking forward to the Vanden Class release for sure, which is nice. Then we got Darren saying Arch Enemy is a must-buy for me, which is cool. There we go. And Bell is saying, I think someone from Pretty Maids is in Nordic Union. There's some kind of connection here. I'm pretty sure you're correct on that one from memory, Bell. I haven't dug into that too deeply recently, but that does ring a bell for me as well. Nude say Norma Jean are cool for Screamo Fix. Nice. All right, cool. That'll be good to check out too. We'll give that one to Tim. Not Dave, because Dave won't like that sort of one. But yeah, that's what's coming out this week or due out tomorrow anyway. Also scheduled. There's always changes, so just if something doesn't drop, don't blame me. It's just what comes out on the press releases. That's what's coming up. So let us know what you're keen to check out while we get through some singles, and then we'll bring in Conrad after these little chat on the singles to go through a little classic album from Megadeth. But first off, first single, like I was saying, links for all this sort of stuff are in the description box, so make sure you check those ones as well. So links for all these songs we're talking about, your reference tracks are going to be in the description box. They're going to put them in the comments too, but just in case you can't find them there or reaching later on, they're in the description box as well. Mal, sorry, before we do, Mal on Sunstorm, as in Joe Lynn Turner. Their stuff is hard to get hold of. Yes, as in Joe Lynn Turner, although I'm pretty sure he's no longer part of the band. They had a change of vocalist, I believe, from memory, which caused a bit of backlash, but the last single I heard wasn't bad, so we'll see how it goes. But if I'm not 100% correct, I'm leaving myself some wiggle room on that one, but that's what I'm pretty sure happened. So there we go. But it is the same band. That is for sure. Alrighty, let's get on to Alter Bridge. In the comments in the description box, you're going to find a link to the single Silver Tongue. This is Alter Bridge with Silver Tongue. The new album Pawns and Kings is due October 14. This is, I think, the second single. It's that or the first one from the album coming up anyway. But Dave, how'd you go with this one?
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, being a guitar nerd, I'm going to just gravitate towards the heavy riffing and the guitar tone. Holy shit. Mark Tremonti is like the missing link between rock and metal. Yeah. It's not exactly metal, it's not exactly rock, but fuck, what they do is great. Lyrically, very interesting. Miles Kennedy always sounds great. He sounds fucking great on this. It's just a given. But yeah, cool song, cool structure to the song. There's a nice little midsection and then a quiet moment, and it just kicks back into where it was to start with. But yeah, overall, this is a really cool song. Just a good 3.5 minutes of heavy / rock. Heavy / rock and roll, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know. Alter Bridge are a beast unto themselves, and this is cool. I'm looking forward to the album.
Yeah, it's Alter Bridge. They do what they do. They do it very, very well. That bridge between rock and metal is perfectly, that's the way to describe these guys for sure. It's got heavy riffs. Miles sounds phenomenal. I love the vocals that Miles presents in pretty much everything he does, to be honest. This pumps. It has a great impact to it. This has lots of punch. I like the swing in this song too. There's awesome riffs and vocals as always. Between Tremonti and Kennedy, you've got everything you want in that regard. Those guys are one hell of a 1-2 punch, and they're both talented on the opposite things too. So Tremonti can sing and Miles can play the guitar. So it's just a phenomenal pairing, those two. As always, you got some great hooks, great harmonies with it all. Awesome riffs, awesome vocals. Like, it's a good heavy track actually. And the video was cool with the animation. I liked the way they did the little video for this one too. But there's a little emotive kick and some drama in this one too. The different moods across it, like there's about 3 or 4 different sort of modes to the song, which is really nicely done too. These guys never disappoint though. It's another great tune from the band. It's one of those things where really, like, they're going to release a bad song. It's not going to happen. So just, if you're a fan, you're going to love it. If you're not a fan, you should be checking out this band because, fuck, they're fantastic. I haven't heard a bad thing from these guys. So, yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. Very, very cool for both of us here anyway. What do we got? Okay, here, Wayne has confirmed. Ronnie Atkins from Pretty Maids is in Nordic Union. Nice cash there, Wayne. Thank you for sharing. And same with Darren. Darren shared that as well. And but also Darren said, cool creepy video, great song. Pawns and Kings is a banger as well. Nice. I haven't checked out the other single yet. I do want to do that. But yeah, cool. Keep it coming. Keep your feedback going while we move on to the next one. We're going to change. Actually, they're all pretty heavy tonight for these singles for the most part. But up next is not the latest, but it is a newer one from Slipknot that we haven't covered over the last weeks while I've been out of action. So this is Slipknot with The Dying Song, in brackets, Time to Sing. It's in the comments. It's in the description box. So make sure you let us know what you think of this one. We'll give ourselves a little bit of a chance to chat about this. So this is, again, Slipknot with The Dying Song in the comments, in the description box. The new album, The End So Far, is due September 30 from the band, but it'll also be their last with Roadrunner Records, which is an interesting sort of a twist on things. So we'll see what happens next. But Dave, how'd you go?
Yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. Slipknot have been hit and miss for me for a very long time, but this is definitely hit. There's no turntables or annoying clangs in the percussion, so I'm happy. A lot of that is what turns me off this band. But none of that here. Lyrics are done really well. Great wordplay and alliteration. There's some fucking great stuff in that. The vocals, they're done really well too. Is it wrong to say this actually sounds more like Stone Sour than Slipknot?
Oh, I don't think so personally, because the percussion alone makes it stand out in a different way. So I understand what you're saying with the chorus melody, maybe, but I wouldn't say the same thing about musically, if that makes sense.
Okay. I just got elements of it, just like, this is more towards what I like about Stone Sour. Just like, okay, if they do more like this, I might enjoy this album when it comes out. But this is cool. I'm curious. My curiosity has been piqued. I want to hear this album.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's not a favored band, because I think we did the Slipknot Halloween one and you opted out of that one, didn't you, from memory?
Yeah. I can listen to some songs, but I can't listen to a whole album of that, especially the early stuff with that heavy percussion, that clangs and shit. It's just like fucking everyone complains about Saint Anger. Shit.
No, for me, I liked it. I actually get a different vibe from you. I think it's a bit more of a throwback. This one, it's nice, it's aggressive, it just pounds. These guys have bite, like you said, lyrically as well. There's a bite to these guys, between the guitar and the percussion in particular on this one, that no one else really does the way these guys do it. They are a unique beast, and they have a very trademark sound. Between that percussive kind of impact and the vocals from Corey Taylor, you've got everything you want to make a band sound unique. So this sounds like Slipknot. You hear it and you know who it is straight away, pretty much. But there's some cool groove, and the shift of the melodic part of the chorus was nicely done on this one as well. I get the feeling this is one of those songs that'll go off live. So when you get a chance to see these guys next time they're on tour, and I reckon they'll bring this one, I reckon it'll go off in the live environment. It just feels like one of those songs. There's more great stuff from this band. If you're a fan, I think it'll please you. And if you're not, it's actually funny that it sort of grabbed Dave's attention as much as it has. So maybe it's a sneaky little gateway one as well. So check it out. Let us know what you think, and we'll go to some comments on that and other stuff now too. What do we got here? So back to Alter Bridge for a second. Sally's got one of my favorite bands. Miles and Mark are just awesome talents as individuals, but together this band a killer cool song as nearly always. So there we go. More kind words there for Alter Bridge. David's going, g'day guys. Shout out to you fellas and the Birmingham lads, Tony Omi and Aussie fucking Osmond for the games. Rock on, all the best. Thank you for joining us and to the kind words. And yes, that was a thing. I didn't actually watch the video yet, Dave. How did that video come out?
Yeah, I watched it, and fuck, it's just great to see Ozzy smiling like he was. I mean, he's not running around like he was. He's pretty much in one place. He's doing a little old man jump. He's got like he looks old. He's got the grey black hair happening, but he's smiling and he's enjoying himself. And at this point, he's just fucking happy to be out there playing music. And Tony Iommi's there. Now, it's not. I don't know who was on bass. It wasn't Geezer Butler, but they had the drummer that played in Melbourne on that tour.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's like it's not quite Black Sabbath, but it was half and a bit, maybe. But Tony Iommi and Ozzy Osbourne. It was fucking cool. And they started off with Iron Man, the main riff, and then they went straight to Paranoid. So it was cool.
Nice. I'll have to go and check it out. You did send it through the link, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch that one yet. But no, definitely want to check out. What do we got here? Rowan says, haven't heard Alter Bridge before. This sounds good. Check it out, man, because they're really cool. Darren says, song's okay for me. Maybe I just prefer them live. I'm not sure. Is this to do with Slipknot? Maybe. I think. We'll see. Basher says, after listening to Stone Sour's The House of Golden Bones Part 2, was extremely impressed with Corey Taylor's voice. Discovered that he is also in Slipknot. Not knowing any of Slipknot's albums, could anyone recommend any? Well, there we go, people. Get onto it. If you're a fan of Slipknot, where should people start with this band? I wouldn't think Iowa. I would think some of the later ones. But yeah, there's some good albums in there. Sally's gone, can't get enough of this song right now. I can't get it loud enough for my liking. There we go. There's some good words for Slipknot there. Mal says, and rightly so, if we complain about last drums on Sananga. So there we go. There's some point of view on that one there, which is nice. Vinny says, this could be a question for everyone. Sounds like Alter Bridge, who never disappoint, using the same sound formula. Does it get stale to the ears, or are you hungry for some experimentation? Finding myself in the middle lately, in case the point being Disturbed releasing a new single. It's great, it's Disturbed, but nothing new. It's a good hot topic in that, I reckon. We could bank that one for a hot topic discussion. That's a good one there, Vinny. I might bank that one and see what happens with that. Darren's going, yep, Slipknot. So yes, that was that a comment before about Slipknot. Let's go back to that one before. Songs okay, maybe prefer them live. They are a different beast live, that's for sure. But Sally says Iowa is the album to start with for them. I have to go back and think about that. Maybe it's one of those ones just put up a post badge one day and just go, what if you're going to tell someone to start with Slipknot, what album would you pick? That's a good little question to ask it there as well. Alrighty. A few more to get through before we get Conrad in, who's sitting there waiting patiently. Thank you for being patient with us in the waiting room there. While we go to this one now, the latest from Melbourne band Orpheus Omega. In the comments in the description box, the song is Within These Walls. The band is Orpheus Omega, and this one features a guest spot from Andy Gillion, from Moore's Principum Est, and a few other bits and pieces as well. But yeah, this is the newest single from Melbourne band. It's got the guest spot, like I was saying. It's the first new tune since they've had a lineup change. They did that split covers EP last year with Triple Kill, which was a lot of fun. But this is the first new original music from these guys for a little bit. But Dave, how'd you go with it?
Oh, this is cool. Heavy and melodic, and vocals are done really well. Clean when it suits and harsh when it needs to be. For me, highlight is the guitar work, man. Holy fuck! It's a great melody. His solos are amazing. Yeah, what really makes the guitar pop is the drums when they lock in together and just got that syncopation. It's just pounding. But overall, this is a fucking great band. This is a cool song, so definitely give this one a listen. This is cool.
Nice. It's heavy and melodic at the same time. It's got that whole Beauty and the Beast element going for it, which is cool. What these guys do in that regard is so much better than a lot of other bands that try it, and they just smash it. They're getting better year on year. So Chris, if you're tuning in, not only are you a great producer, but the stuff you're writing and turning out these days is fantastic too. I like the synth work on this one, actually. It's pretty busy, but it's not, over the top. It's really well done. It adds a lot of, sonic. It fills things out, but it sounds funny to say that because it's all pretty busy, but at the same time, I just love the way it sort of fleshed things out a bit. If it wasn't there, you'd notice it missing, but it's not so overpowering that it sort of steals the show in any way, shape, or form. It's just a really well done bit of that mixing and composition there. I really liked how that was put in there. But, for all the talk about, melody and all that kind of stuff and synth work, this packs one hell of a punch. It's nice. It's aggressive. The guitar work got my attention too, both from Andy and the rest of the band in general. I mean, the guest spot works fantastically in that regard, but also when you look at the talent in the band with Luke on lead, you're going to get, and Chris himself as well, you're not going to get any slouching in the guitar work on this one. It's going to be fantastic. There's another song with a really cool breakdown in it too. The tension and release is a great aspect of this song. And I think that getting Andy to do some vocals as well as doing the guitar work was a nice little touch from these guys on this song. So well done all around. This is very, very cool. And I'm very keen to hear what's coming out, next from the Orpheus Omega camp. They finally got that tour done recently. So well done to all involved. Here's hoping now for some more new music in the near future. But let us know what you think out there, people. What do we got? Tamara, good to see you. She's gone, I agree, Sally. Iowa gets my vote as well. So there we go. Darren says, this is one banger of a track. Need more of this, which is cool. And Bell says, heavy melodic wins for me every time. Very damn cool song. Nice. Getting some love here for the Melbourne boys, which is fantastic. And next one up is a Newcastle band, which we have covered on the show a little while ago. I'll tell you when in a moment. But this is the latest from PurEnvy. The song is Sweet Poison. The band is PurEnvy. It's in the comments. It's in the description box. It's the first new music from this Newcastle band since 2018. So we covered their last album. So yeah, it's been a little while for these guys. I've been a bit frustrated up there trying to get things done, but I liked it. It was worth the wait. But Dave, how'd you go?
Yeah, this is cool. It's a little bit longer than your average single or track. You're going to release 6.5 minutes, but it never gets boring, and there's a lot going on, and it's very cool composition. Obviously, guitar solo. I like how it starts in one place and just goes into so many different places. It starts with some melodic phrasing and then turns into more shredding, but it's not all out shredding. Well, that was very, very well put together solo. But yeah, I remember we reviewed that album, man. didn't realize it was so many, like 2018.
Yeah, 2018. Yep.
Fuck.
That was
Damn,
like a 10 one
stuff.
hit, a lot of it, wasn't it, from memory?
Yeah.
That was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, yeah. It'd be cool to hear more music from this, because this is good. So yeah, check out this band. They're good.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's worth the wait for these guys. This is right up there with the previous stuff. They haven't lost a step, even though it's been some time. Again, it's another one with some nice use of melody, but this one has, I guess, a subtle use of harmony too, which I found really, really enjoyable on this one. But then, again, more talk about melody and stuff. But then this just flips the switch into pure aggression. You've got different vocalists and different lead guitarists at different points on this one. So one guy's doing the extreme heavy vocal, another guy's doing the vocal, the cleaner stuff. And they do a really good job, both of them, to bring that sort of intensity and melody to the song. But there's also a really cool hook in the chorus. I thought that was really well done. And for the record, Chris the Melker, who's an Orpheus Omega, produced this one. So we're getting a lot, and it sounds great. Both sound great. So Chris has knocked it out of the park in that regard. But I like the storytelling in both the song and the video itself. That was really well done. And this gets stuck in your head a lot easier than you might think too. So great solos. The trade-off between the lead guitarists in this one was nice as well. And, again, with the vocalists. And another one with some great tension release. If you like heavy, if you like melody, if you want all that sort of stuff and you want a bit more aggressive, this is one you really got to check out. And if you like this, go and check out their previous stuff too. I think it's 2 albums I've got out. None of it's been bad at all. I've loved everything they've done. So, yeah, well done to them. And hopefully we get some more from these guys very, very soon. I'll be very keen to hear, because they're great guys too, for the record. Fantastic people to meet. So give us your thoughts out there, folks. Jeff's joined us. He's going, hi, lads, at long last. Happy to hear that you're on the mend, Andrew. Can't wait for tomorrow and Arch Enemy. Thank you for joining us, mate. Hopefully you keep well. Yeah, finally getting there. I can feel my voice starting to get a bit scratchy now, but I'll get through the night. It'll be all right. Just won't talk much tomorrow. So excuse me if I cough from time to time, but still just sort of in there. Darren says, what a brilliant song. Love this. Some more love for the Aussie artists, which is what we like to do here at the show. All right, a couple of quick ones here. One got added in today last minute, but this one didn't. But Dave, these are both ones that you found. First up is the latest, I believe, from Stratovarius, with a song called Firefly. So the artist is Stratovarius, song is Firefly. In the comments and description box, you know what to do. The new album Survive is due September 23rd. It's their first album in 7 years, so since 2015. Been a little while. Dave, are you generally a big fan of Stratovarius?
Of more recent stuff, like the Nemesis album from 2013. And then, yeah, because that album I just discovered out of nowhere. So I heard the one before and the one after, but I haven't really checked out much of their earlier stuff. But yeah, the stuff I have heard I love. But yeah, 7 years in between albums is a bit long. So I am keen to hear the new album, especially based off this song, because this song is pretty damn cool. And the things that stand out with this band are the fucking vocals. The guy can sing like a I love his vocals. And the guitar work, it's always very melodic, and the keyboard playing always locked in well together. But yeah, there's no surprises at what this song will deliver if you know the band. The only real surprise is it's like 3.5 minutes, which is quite short for this type of music. But they pack a lot in. I'm actually surprised that it's only 3.5 minutes. It does seem like it goes longer. Doesn't mean it drags or anything. It's just there's lots of really good stuff in here.
Yeah.
The vocals, the lyrics were kind of venturing into AOR territory a little bit. I've got
an 80s vibe to this one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shift from what they usually have their songs, the themes for. But yeah, it's kind of cool to hear a different theme, but still the same old sound from Stratovarius. So yeah, I'm keen for this album.
Yeah, no, we're moving into melodic metal territory with this one. The last couple of lines have a couple of gear changes in there, but this one, it's funny you got the AOR side, because I got a bit of 80s just because of the use of the synth and the tones and the effects, especially on the guitar. It's very, very glossy in a way. But I didn't mind. I think it works very, very well. There's great riffs and drums in this to go with the fantastic melody of the vocals as well. Another one with great lead work, but the drumming is fucking fantastic. It's funny how that cross between the pace of the guitar work and the drumming, like the drumming is pretty much almost double kick all the way through. But there's lots of space and that different sort of tempo given to things between the guitar and the melodic vocals, which was just a nice little contrast in the song. It's a pretty busy bit of music going on. There's a lot of gallop to it as well, which is cool. But yeah, that the synth on this one adds a really nice 80s touch, but nothing overpowering, just a nice little point of difference. I'm curious about this one. I'm not sure. I haven't listened to heaps from this band, so I can't comment too heavily on them. But I've liked what I've heard generally speaking, but this is one of those ones where I'm curious where, diehard fans will think if this is more of the same or if it's, maybe a bit of a departure. I'm not quite sure personally, but very curious about the album. This is a cool track. So, yeah, check it out and let us know what you think out there. It's not bad at all, this one. Sally's gone. 2 teaspoons of honey will bring it back, Andrew. I'll have those ones tonight after we get done in here. Bell says, I hear the song as a montage music in an 80s movies. I do like it, though. Remember how Dennis used to always comment about montage?
Definitely American sounding.
Yeah, so it does have a bit of that. Here's a good comparison though. What do you think of this one, Dave? Vinny says Stratovarius give me good Halloween vibes. That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not a bad comparison. I'll pay that.
Halloween and Stratovarius on the same show would be fucking
That'd
great.
be cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Chuck Blind Guardian in the two.
Yeah, that'll round it out nicely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Alrighty, Dave. Let's get to the one I know you want to talk about because you're pumped as fuck for this. He gets up at like what time do you get up in the morning? You and I are about early, about 5ish.
Yeah, 6:15. 6.
Yeah. And what at 6:30? I think you sent a message through to the group chat going, "You Wednesday 13." I'll do it straight away. Don't know what you do with your time. Anyway, you wake up in the morning and straight away Wednesday 13. Anyway, so the latest from that group is a song called You're So Hideous. There's a link to that now in the comments and the description box. So it's Wednesday 13 with You're So Hideous. The new album Horrifier is due October 7. Dave found this one nice and early this morning, so we're quickly squeezing it in today. Dave, how did you go?
Oh, this is fucking great. I knew this song was coming. He'd been promoting it 13 days ago. He said, it's coming. But I wasn't like counting down day by day. So I was expecting it tomorrow before the music. So when I noticed, like, holy fucking yes. Like the other day, Avantasia released a song with Floor Jensen in it on Nightwish.
Yeah, you were
stoked. And in the chat, hand me the fucking Vaseline. So it's a good thing it's still out because I needed it for this song as well. But David Allison's got nothing on me. You're right, man.
Wow. Yeah, I'm good. Keep going. I'm just going to die quiet in the corner while you take over.
Now, Wednesday's got a talent of writing songs that are instantly catchy, filled with like horror images and some profanity. There's a few motherfuckers, as you would expect from a guy whose nickname is Mr. Motherfucker. Yeah, but he never seems to run out of ideas. And he certainly hasn't gone soft after 20 years of making music. But if you're just recently discovered him from Necrophase, or you've been with him since the Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13 from the late 90s, it's a long, long career. But this will please anyone that's been a fan at any point. But it's got the old school lyrical humor that he used to do, which he kind of lost a little bit along the way. He got a bit more serious around the Condolences album, but the humor's back and the heavier riffs are still there from the more recent stuff. So it's like the best of both worlds. But this is a fucking cool track. The video is cool too, especially if you're a fan of The Exorcist. He's fucking great. But yeah,
he's still got to work out.
This is cool.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, the video, the play on The Exorcist is very well done, actually. I've got to give credit. It's got a bit of fun to it, but it's also very detailed, which I've got to give a lot of credit for. That's actually really well done. That's awesome. But the song for me was actually a little bit slower than I expected, to be honest. Like it was more of a rock groove to it, less punky than previous works. But there is some nice bite in the lyrics. I did enjoy the lyric on this one. There's still plenty of balls. It's simplistic stuff, nothing complicated, which is the style that Wednesday does so well. But it's good. There's a good hook in this one too. It's catchier than you might expect. It's really well written. And there's some cool energy on this one as well. Not quite what I thought it would be, like I was saying before, but I'm curious about where the album's going to go because there's a bit of a backstory with, how it's all been put together. But this is very, very cool. I think it's actually a bit of a gateway song. If you've heard Wednesday 13 before and it hasn't quite got your attention, check out this one because this is going to be one of those ones that's really easy for anyone and everyone to sort of take in and enjoy, I reckon. So, yeah, check it out and let us know what you think. I reckon that one's, even if previously you're not a huge Wednesday 13 fan, this could be one that gets your attention.
There's a song title on the list that because they showed the list of tracks on the album. There's a song called Return to Haddonfield, which I think is one, it's cool because of the new Halloween movies. And two, on the Calling All Corpses album, he's got a song called Haddonfield.
Okay.
So he's currently doing the 20-year retrospect tour. So it's obviously gone over all his previous stuff. I don't know if it's a direct sequel to the song or... Yeah, I reckon this is going to have style from the last 20 years. Going to be all different stuff on this. So it's going to be a very cool album, I think.
Nice. Cool. All right, well, Dave's the expert. I'm going to get some comments here, but Conrad, we're going to get you in just a moment. So we'll get you here to talk about some Megadeth in just a second. But Rowan has said, I'm still working when you're just getting up. I don't envy night shift. I hate night shift. I'm a night owl, but I like to do my own thing at night. That's the thing. Sorry?
Yeah, I'm the same. I've worked overnight. I prefer doing my own stuff at night.
I reckon the worst shift you can get, though, is the afternoon shift. That 3 till 11. That just
fucks you.
Yeah, that's a shit shift. But anyway, Wednesday 13, great Exorcist videos from Darren. Yeah, that's very, very true there as well. And Darren says, damn, wanted to hate this, but it's fucking awesome. Great video as well. So there you go. That ties into my thought process on this being a bit of a gateway one for Wednesday there. Darren also says, Wednesday 13, interesting he moved from Nuclear Blast to Napalm Records. Seems to change companies after a few album cycles. There might be something to that. I'm not sure. But Basher says, Wednesday 13 sounds hideously awesome. Great video. Nicely. Good wordplay there. Very, very clever. Do appreciate that. All right. Let's get to it, Dave. So get your classic album review up. Well, we bring Conrad into the stream for the first time. We're bringing a special guest in. So, Conrad, your time is now. Here we go, buddy. How you going?
G'day. How's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. All good.
Okay,
all
great.
good.
How you doing? Good. Very well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Thank you for the support. In case people out there don't know, Conrad's one of our fantastic Patreon supporters, and some select few get to jump in and out here and there, and I'm trying to make that more of a regular occurrence than not. It's been a bit of a while coming to get you into this one, but I figured Megadeth was coming up, so it was one that you weren't going to want to miss. So
yeah, definitely not. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
All good. How have you been anyway? I mean, I notice you plug something on the page every week as well. So just sort of give people a bit of an update on yourself and how you're going and what you're up to these days.
That's a karaoke night with the live band. You get to sing with a live band. It's like unlike any other karaoke you've ever been to. You actually get up and perform with a live band, and they've got over 200 songs. A lot of them, some great songs. There's a lot of really good stuff. They've got Sepultura, Pantera, Megadeth, Metallica, Guns N' Roses. There's a lot of really good rock and metal stuff to choose from. And it's free entry. And drinks are like $6 for a pint or a spirit and a mixer. Basic spirits and mixers, like $6. It's free entry. It's Wednesday nights. It's at the Gasso, and it's a great night. It's just a good night. Hence, I promote it because I want to see it work. I'm not really involved in it other than I support it, go down there and get up and try and sing. That's pretty much all I do with it. Yeah. But I like to pump it. I like to promote it because I believe in the night. Yeah. And I think that they're nice people that deserve it. The band are great. They're a really, really good band. Can play anything. And it's a great night. So to anybody watching, get your ass down the Gasso on a Wednesday night. Providing these guys aren't on, of course.
No, we've moved out up to Thursday nights. So Wednesday nights is all clear. So if you what you want that fix, get on down to the Gasso.
Get on down. It's a good night. It's you can spend $30 and have a fucking great night.
It's not bad at all.
I saw he posted it, and I was thinking, that'd be fun. But then I realized I've had parties where I've done SingStar, and people have left. So I think I won't turn up because I want people to stay. I can't sing. It's not good.
Look, it's not about. I mean, it's just about supporting each other, and anybody that gets up there and gives it a go. Is what it's about. It's about just supporting anybody that gets up there and gives it a go. No one's expecting you to be fucking Dio or Halford or Dickinson or Tate. I mean, you just get up there and smash it and have a crack. That's all it's about. And it's good.
Do you get any good surprises though? Do you get any that sort of go, oh fuck, hang on, this one's got some pipes? Do you get many?
You get very pleasantly surprised at some people, and very pleasantly surprised by. We all do it, and that is we stereotype. We look at someone and go, okay, what have they got to bring? And you think some meek, mild, dweeby fucking dude, whatever, you might make that judgment, and they get up there and just fucking completely tear the roof off the place, and you go, fuck. So, you might see somebody and judge them because of the band T-shirt they're wearing or whatever, and then they get up and completely surprise you. So, yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
So it's a good night. So do come down.
Well, there you go, folks.
I'm guilty of that. I went to see a Dio tribute band once, and there was this short guy walking around and goes, he has to be the singer. Turns out he wasn't. Some bald guy got up.
I think I know. I think I've seen that show. Yeah, I think I might have seen who that was. Yeah.
Here we go. We're getting into the weeds of things now. All right. Quickly here, before we get into the album itself, what is it about Megadeth that appeals to you most, Conrad?
I think it's the song structures. I like the very unorthodox song structuring. His writing, Mustaine's writing in particular, I think the way he approaches songwriting is just unlike anybody else, really. His songs like Hook in Mouth, songs like Set the World Afire, just all the riff changes, all the, I think they were like, I guess you can see where Dream Theater might have taken a bit from them and gone, we'll do that, but we'll throw more riff change. We'll do more time changes. And so it was the time signature changes, the unorthodox sort of songwriting, and just his intensity. It's just so intense, It's just really, really intense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to start on Metallica bashing. I'm not one of those. I love both bands. And I can't stand those people that want to bash on Metallica. It's like you're bashing on the same band, pretty much. You're having a crack at the same band. It's like, come on, this dude, helped write that stuff. It's like, it's ridiculous. So just, it's silly. But I think he just has got a bit more interesting sort of songwriting. So that, for me, I think is what it is. It's my brain. It's a certain brain. Maybe some people have a certain brain, and I like the proggy stuff. I tend to gravitate toward proggy sort of stuff, complex stuff, and I find Megadeth quite entertaining in that respect because they're quite complex to me. Cool.
Awesome. All right, I see people commenting. Let's just quickly get back to that for a second. What do we got here? So Jeff's gone, just finished the 12 to 9 shift. Yuck. Next week back to 9 to 6. Much better. That is a better fit for you, Jeff. So hopefully you're keeping well there. Vinny says it's Thor in the flesh. So there we go, Conrad. There's one for you.
I don't have his. I don't know. I got to work out a bit more, I think.
Yeah, all of us. I think none of us.
I think this is a bit. Not quite Thor, really. More Homer Simpson than Thor. A lot more Homer Simpson physique than Thor.
Okay. We'll get you a moo next. That'll work.
I got scared for a moment. I just came from Tommy Lee's Instagram, so I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen.
Oh, I don't know if you're up to speed on that one there, but Tommy Lee has posted quite explicit Instagram posts in the last few hours, so go and check that out if you're keen. Oh, yeah, full frontal. It's
I wasn't about to. No one wants to see that.
We won't do that one. Bell's on high, Conrad. Sweet poster. So there we go. More feedback for you there. Got a good on there.
Yeah. Cheers.
Nice. Stelly says, hey, Conrad, sounds like fun when it comes to your Wednesday night gigs at the Gasso, which is nice there too. And I know that she's got some pipes on us. Maybe if you're lucky, you might get her up there to sing. I don't know. I'm probably putting my foot in there, but we'll see how we go. And Mal's gone with a King Theoden vibe. So there we go. If you're a bit of There we go. But Vinny says, good point, Conrad. Have always wondered why I come back to Megadeth often. It's almost something different every time. It goes back to my hot topic point I mentioned earlier, not afraid to experiment a little. And I think that's a good point there too. Everything is different with Megadeth. There's no sort of, how do you put it, a formula. They don't really adhere to a formula per se, which is All righty. Well, we are talking about Megadeth. Let's get into it. This is our classic album review of the week. So we're going to talk about the classic album, Symphony of Destruction. Countdown to Extinction. The reference track is Symphony of Destruction. Bloody hell. So, Dave, Dave was right. He said we would fuck something up, and I just did. So he did say that before we started going live. But yeah, Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction is the album. Your reference track is in the comments and the description box. And that is the iconic Symphony of Destruction. So without any further, let's get stuck into this. This is Megadeth with Countdown to Extinction, 11 tracks, 47 minutes, the fifth studio album from the American band, released July 1992 via Capitol Records. Produced by Max Norman and Dave Mustaine at the Enterprise in California. 4 singles were released, including Symphony of Destruction and Sweating Bullets. The band's most commercially successful album. This peaked number 2 in the US, number 5 in the UK, number 14 here in Australia, with a host of top 50s all over the world. It's also been certified 3 times platinum in Canada, 2 times platinum in the US, and gold in the UK, Japan, Argentina, as well as here in Australia. It received a Grammy nomination. It's a fan favorite as well. The album is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. It's this week's Patreon Choice Album Review. So if you want to get involved in that, you know what to do. Sign up to our Patreon page. Details for that are in our description box, so make sure you get onto it. We'll get you in a minute, Conrad. Dave, let's start with you.
Okay. Now, this is one of those albums that I could honestly say I grew up listening to. Pretty much got it as soon as it came out. And it's special because it's the first Megadeth album I ever got. Not the first Megadeth album I heard, but the first one I actually owned. When you're young and you don't have many CDs, it's one that's going to get played over and over again. And even to this day, I don't think I've ever gotten sick of this. I keep going back to it a lot. I mean, it is a bit of a change for the band. It's not the breakneck speeds and the frastastic riff fest of Rust in Peace. It's hard to say. But, they have done different tempo songs before this, so it's not that much of a departure. It's polished, it's tightened up a little bit, and it's delivered probably the most commercial album they've done to date, and it's accessible, but they still managed to sound like Megadeth, which it's their version of the Black Album, but I wasn't hearing anyone saying Megadeth sold out when this was released. I'm not saying Metallica sold out at all. I fucking love the Black Album, but it's that these bands are so fucking in the one. I didn't want to mention the other N word, but yeah. I'm all for bands. It's cool. Keep trying new things. It's entertaining, and Mustaine is on the top of his game on this one when it comes to writing lyrics. He's always has and always will have a lot of interesting things to say, but this one he just lined up a whole bunch of nails and hit them square on the head. And his personality and his style that he puts into his vocal delivery, and whether it's that menace in the snarl or the humor in his tone or that genuine concern when he's talking about topics that are important to him. That's what made Mustaine great. He has so much diversity in his vocal delivery alone. And just his guitar playing, as Conrad was mentioning, it's unorthodox because not many people, at this point, not many people were using the chromatic scale. He used to do those lines up and down, like in My Darkest Hour. But in this one, there's some of that stuff subtly in there as well. It's just very unorthodox. He knows the rules and he knows when and how to break them. And that's
a good point. Yeah.
It makes it easy to listen to, even though he's breaking the rules, because he knows what he's doing. He's a fucking great writer. Marty Freeman is an amazing guitarist, and he's got his own unique sound and style, which comes together with Mustaine, and they complement each other really well. Gotta say, Symphony for Destruction, that'd be one of my all-time favorite guitar solos, man. It's just starts off subtly and then just builds up and shreds a little bit, and then he just brings it home and straight back into the song, and that's the way you do it, man. That shit's cool. But while I'm on that song, you don't have to be fast, you don't have to be complex and compose a million notes. And this is Megadeth I'm still talking about. That main riff to that song, it's fucking easy. It's 2 chords, man. But what makes it cool? It's razor sharp precision. They're spot on with their timing. And that drum beat behind it, that fucking drum beat, that's what brings it home. And that just, when you hear that song live, you got the whole crowd into it. It's not one of their fastest songs, but fuck, it's good. But I can listen to this album over and over. There's so many different themes and moods and tempos. I mean, you don't really paint a metal band as being environmentalist, but Dave's got that constant theme in there. And then he's got fun songs like High Speed Dirt. Just let's jump out of an airplane just for fun. And he's got his songs about his internal struggles and his conflict, but it's not a sob story. It's just like, this is where I'm at, And the guy's brutally honest. But gotta quickly touch on the remastered version, which is on Spotify, because as I said, I grew up listening to this album so much. There's 2 things that really stand out on the remastered version, and that's the extended intro for Sweating Bullets, which is unnecessary in my opinion. I just thought, fuck, get to the song.
Okay.
I've heard this song so many times. I don't need this little bit of extra bit. It's cool and everything, but not needed. The one bit that was cool in this is in Psychotron, where they removed the slapback echo delay on the vocals, where he's like, maybe not a mutant, maybe he's a man. I thought, I actually like this better without that. But it kind of clarifies, it gets the vocals right up there. But yeah, to each their own. But overall, I won't rattle on too much about this, but this is a fucking great album. If you know it, you know it. We're talking about. If you haven't heard it, unfuck your life. People, you need this album in your life. 9 out of 10. Symphony for Destruction, Architecture of Aggression, Foreclosure of a Dream, Sweat and Bullets, Psychotron. No one talks about that song all that much, but fuck, that is so cool. I love it. And Ashes in Your Mouth is a great closer to the album. You need a strong opener and a strong closer, and that fucking closes it. Brings it home nicely. And I'm done. Your turn, Conrad.
Over you, yeah.
Well, that's hard to really elaborate more on what you just said. But you nailed it. No, it's I mean, going back to Symphony of Destruction, I think that's their AC/DC influence there. It's a very AC/DC sort of style of song. You could see AC/DC doing that, really. It's like a modern day, AC/DC kind of vibe. But just there's stuff on there like, just the riffage on it is just fantastic. Some really nice twists and turns on it and nice time changes and throughout the record, and it's so crisp. It's really crisp. It's really bright. And I think it's fair to say Max Norman was responsible for the way that album sounds and some of the creative input as well. Max Norman had on that record too, which was, I'd love to see Max Norman come back again and produce maybe the next Megadeth record, not the one that's about to drop, but maybe it's the one after. I'd like to see that him come back, definitely. But no, it's a fucking solid. It's a really solid record. Ashes in Your Mouth, probably one of my favorite all-time tracks of theirs, and stuff like This Was My Life, Architecture of Aggression, the way that kind of floats. It's got this floating kind of vibe, and then it comes down again. It's really weird sort of vocal melody line. I quite like on that. But no, it's a great record, and it stands up. It's down. You put that on today, and it sounds fresh, it doesn't sound dated, and that's hard to do. I think that's the testament. If you can put out a record and 30 years later it still sounds current, then that's pretty tough to do that. And it does. It still sounds very fresh. So yeah,
nice. What would you give out of 10? Do you reckon?
I'd say probably 9. Yeah, I'd go with Dave and say 9, or it's pretty much 9 or a 10. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I don't really. The only track, probably the weakest track on the album, I would say would be High Speed Dirt. Compared to the record. The rest of the record is it's pretty solid. It's good songwriting. It's just really good songwriting. A lot more commercial. Perhaps that was their most commercial sort of. By that point, they were going for a much more radio friendly audience, but it's still not cringy. It's not cringy like, oh, you're writing pop radio, you're not writing pop rock songs,
It's tightened up.
Yeah, it was still solid, still heavy.
Still Megadeth, just got a bit tighter. Yeah.
And you should have done the new single, and as I say, when you just did singles, you should have done the new single. New single's blistering.
Haven't had a chance to check that out yet. But no, we will get to that, I'm sure. But we
it's really intense.
Nice. I try to make it so that we try and cover a range as opposed to each single from a lead up to a particular album. But no, that is one I do want to check out. If nothing else, myself personally, I haven't heard it yet, so definitely. But what I did like about the first single, I think, from the new album coming up, that was cool. I'm looking forward to, if that's a taste of the album, then we're going for another cracker.
This is faster. This is like faster again. This is really intense.
Nice.
And it's. I'm a little nervous that it might be a bit too dystopia-like.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's going to be some slower stuff on the record. I'm hoping it's not all going to be 1/6 gear all the way. But anyway, we're talking about Countdown, not that. So I'll shut up about that.
We'll find out in due course. That's not far away now, that album, so we'll find out in a little bit. But back on Yeah.
I saw them on that tour. I've seen them like 26 times now. I saw them on that tour. That was the second time I got to see them was on the Countdown tour, and I saw them with supporting Metallica at Milton Keynes Bowl in the UK, and it was stunning. It was incredible, and they were intense as fuck, and they were out there to prove, like, we're just as good, you know. And they were just as intense, you know. It was brilliant. They didn't get the sound Metallica got, which,
of course,
of course, that's not going to happen, is it? They're not going to give them the same level of sound, but
no,
but they're all good. They're killer.
Nice. For mine on this album, it's an all-time great when it comes to the metal albums. It's got great riffs. You know, the lead work and the venom from Mustaine, particularly in his vocals, is just perfect on this release. If nothing else alone, this is worth noting as an album for the track Symphony of Destruction. It's an amazing song. Lyrically, it's fantastic, but I think it's also probably up until this point Mustaine's best vocal that he's done on record up until this point. Maybe not since, but for me, just it sounds like his best, almost pure vocal. That's what I took away from it anyway. But what I love about it most is that it became the song that, you know, when it gets the crowd to sing the band name back to the band, like that.
Yeah,
fucking unheard of. Like, that is such a cool moment, and that's just.
That was, I think that was that started in Argentina. I think that started in Argentina, and that from there it just went global.
Yeah,
and everyone just went, you know,
it's so perfect. Yeah. It is so perfect. What a an unintended consequence, which is just brilliant. So if nothing else, this album is worth it for that alone. It's got all the flash you want from these guys and more, especially on the guitar. But like I was saying before, it feels like they were leaned up. It's just a bit more direct. Like you still get those things that Connor was mentioning about. They're a bit more interesting, more diverse, more technical and challenging, quote unquote. But this one just felt a bit more like accessible, but not sacrificing any of that attack and the way Dave plays his riffs and his rhythm work is unlike anyone else out there at all. You do wonder what could have been had Hetfield and Mustaine been able to stay together in a band for we would have had a different, you know, there's a timeline somewhere that has that, but it's just interesting to think about. But between the two of them, they're probably the two best rhythm guitarists of all time. But on top of that, Dave is one of the best leads. So the way he can play and syncopate is just brilliant. And that technical
some of his riffs are as complicated as some people's lead playing. Yeah. His riffs can be just like, you know, insane. Yeah. You know?
It's the subtle
fact that when he's playing it, he's not even looking at what he's doing. You know? It's nuts.
I struggle at the best of times, anything like that. He's like the Malcolm Young of the metal world, if that makes sense. The best writer in that regard for mine. It's technical, it's excellent, but it's easy to take in. You don't need to love guitar to love this album. It helps, but you don't need to. It's not purely for guitar kind of things. But I love the tempo and the groove changes across this one as well. You've still got that, you know, trademark staccato impact on things, especially on tracks like Architecture of Aggression. There is some serious sort of this that really cool. But, you know, under all that sort of snarl and guitar work, you got fantastic, like the rhythm section underneath all of that is so well done. Ellison and Menza really do provide the perfect platform for everything else just to launch from for mine. I think the storytelling, the diversity, and the lyrics of this one and the themes explored on the album are really interesting and engaging as well. The acoustic tone added to Foreclosure of a Dream was a really nice touch on the record while you listen to it as well. And the lyrics of that in that song in particular are really cutting and really relevant today. Like that song hasn't lost any of its poignancy over the years. That song really sucks you into the album, drags you into the overall mood being set when you're listening to it as well. Sweating Bullets is great for the internal monologue that goes on there. It's just an insight into craziness, which is fantastic. But everything in this one, you know, between the music and the lyrics, it's all about the combined storytelling. It's fantastic. Countdown to Extinction is another one, but that's still incredibly relevant today as well. Again, it's not just sonically that this is held up for 30 years. It's also in the lyrics. It shows you for all the advancements we can make, we can still be very, very slow at moving forward in certain things as well.
Yeah. I mean, without sounding like a load of wank, but he's very prophetic. The stuff he writes is like really prophetic. He's like, he sees things that, and then you listen to it years later and it's like 10, 15, 20 years later. And he, it's like he wrote about this stuff years ago, and it unfolds. And it's like, whoa. Yeah.
It's interesting for his part, but it's a shame to watch how slow humanity can move in those regards as well at the same time. It's a bit of a dichotomy there. It's been mentioned the remasters. I don't hate the remasters. I think they're fine personally for me. I just think that this one, I get why people say what they do about it, but I just like how Dave comes through cleanly still after all these years, which is fantastic to me. But I liked how there's some real snap to the drums and the guitar tone on this one. This is nasty in all the right ways for a metal album. The mixing, the Foley, the little details on this one really well done as well, and it gives you a more immersive listen on the deep dive as well. Great flow across it. It's easy to repeat spin. There's nothing bad about this one at all. And, what's not to like about an album like this? If you like your metal and you haven't checked this out and you're watching us, you really need to unfuck that and go and watch it. But I'll go and listen to it. But this is a must-have album in your collection. You've got to have it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Symphony of Destruction, Sweating Bullets, and Foreclosure of a Dream, my absolute standards. But other tracks, too, that people don't talk about. Things like Captive Honor. That's another one for me that I really do enjoy as well. It doesn't get as much love, and I get why, but at the same time, that's a really cool track on this one, too. Let's get some comments here quickly. What do we got? Back to your little nights there at the Gasso. Sally says, "Yeah, I get up there after a few. Haven't done it for years though." That's all right. Cool. I'd be keen to see that one. That'd be awesome, Sally. If you get up there and do it, let us know.
You guys could come down and film it. Come down and film it. Get up and sing.
I haven't sung for a very, very long time personally. It's been a very long time for me.
We'll just do the THRS theme.
The thing is, there actually is lyrics to that day. There actually
all that stuff.
Fuck shit, get fucked. The song is actually called and there's lyrics to it.
But
they've got some cool shit. They got like Symphony on there. They got Sabbath True. There's Walk. There's Sepultura, Refuse Resist. There's
I'd have to get them to go down a few steps for me though. I can't do anything in the original key anymore.
But there's they got some cool shit.
Yeah, no, that's cool. What have we got? Here we go. Man Family saying Crown of Worms and High Speed Dirt rock, apart from the Symphony, of course, which is back to the album here. So Man Family giving their favorite tracks. They're nice. Basher says, should have blurred that image, but thanks. Not a fan of Megadeth. Will pay more attention next time I listen to their songs. That was, I think, back to the non-Thor outfit.
The Homer Simpson.
Homer
Simpson physique.
Oh, here we go. Some fighting words here from Tony. Tony's saying that this is one of the Megadeth songs where the remix version is worse than the original version. Ouch. I don't really agree, but all right, we'll see how we go with that. I don't know why people hate the remaster so much, but it's an interesting one, that one. Darren says, well-produced album with Mustaine and Friedman firing on all cylinders. Love the whole album. Favorite, Skin of My Teeth, Symphony, High Speed Dirt, and Ashes in Your Mouth. Getting a lot of love for High Speed Dirt here tonight, which is interesting. Vinny says, such a great summation of Megadeth album and the band. Really good to hear them both articulated like this. Dave, would be handy for a time capsule for the next generation to learn about a legendary band like this. That's a good point there too. Well, all this stuff just stays online. So, if the internet doesn't die, people can watch this stuff from 10 years from now or 50 years from now, and we'll be old or dead and it won't matter anymore to us, but people can still watch it and learn from us anyway, hopefully. Man Family say Beats, Risk, Rust in Peace, Euthanasia, Cryptid Writings, and others, but it has to be their 10 out of 10 album to date. Okay, cool. Nice love for this one here. Bell says, I voted for this album, so I shouldn't be saying this, but Countdown to Extinction is to Rust in Peace as Black Album is to Justice for All. Nice point. A highly anticipated but disappointing follow-up to what, in my opinion, is the band's best album, but still a great album in its own right. So there's some good, deep thoughts there from Bell. Thank you for sharing that one. That's a good little summation. TC says, hi, guys. This is a metal album to own. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're keeping well out there. Sally's gone easy when it comes to the singing stuff, so we'll work out something there. And Vinny's gone, Mustaine Megadeth did a great duet with Christina Scabbia, a Tout Le Monde, something like that. Yeah, that was cool. We actually played that on the TV broadcast not too long ago from memory. I might be wrong on that one. This will be
yeah, we did.
Yeah, I thought we did. Yeah, because we did guest spot ones. That's what we did. Yeah, we played in that episode. But Jeff's gone, I want to hear Dave sing some Rush. I know he's...
Yes.
Yes.
I can't do that. My ball popped years ago.
Unfortunately, the band don't do Rush songs. But...
No, I don't blame them either. I mean, and not in a bad way. I mean, it's in the actual ability to pull it off. While Caesar is losing his mind out there. So quickly, just before we let you go, Conrad, do you remember? I'm not sure because I know you've bounced around between UK and Australia and stuff. I'm not sure where you were for the Soundwave 2013 announcement back in actually 2012.
I was here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Here, yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So just quickly before we let you go, because that's going to be sort of the hot topic tonight, is what do you remember of that time and what were your thoughts when that announcement for that lineup came about? That was the one when Metallica were headlining and all that sort of stuff.
Pretty much the big four, wasn't it? Without one band was missing.
Yeah. Yep.
I understood it that the guy, the promoter, who was a shonky fucker,
AJ's
well shonky, pissed him off. He pissed Dave off. He said something. He announced a gig.
He got on Twitter and did something stupid there.
And he did something really stupid. He announced a gig in a manner and in a way that was quite disrespectful. And Dave was like, "No, not cool. We've got my bags packed. I'm ready for an apology. I'll do the gig, but you know, like, give me an apology," which was fair. And then he snubbed Australia, and they went and played New Zealand.
Yeah.
Went and played New Zealand and snubbed Australia and didn't do the festival. But all it would have taken was AJ basically pulling his head out of his backside and going, "I'm sorry for being a prick and being an ass and saying something stupid." And I think he advertised a sideshow that didn't even have permission to do. Like, it wasn't even squared. It wasn't even, squared up properly. It wasn't agreed on. It was announced, and it was like, hang on, hold the phone. We didn't, it was something like that. I do remember vaguely. I mean, it was a long time ago.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
And you'll have to excuse me, but in that time, I've obviously lived a lifestyle that is somewhat a rock and roll lifestyle that kind of, decays one's memory a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's all of us. I'm lucky I've got written notes for everything that I do. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. People know. It's funny over the years. The comments are, "Why do you read everything?" It's, you fucking don't know us, do you? That's.
The way to have done that. The way to have done that show would have been do the festival and have the big four close it.
Yeah.
Have the big four close the festival. That would have been the perfect way to do it. So you're getting Soundwave plus the big four closing it. And that would have been, everyone would have wanted, who wouldn't have wanted that? It would have just been perfect.
And it would have been the first time as well. Like, it was bizarre.
Yeah. But that fucktard screwed it all up.
I put up a very lengthy post on my personal page. No, actually on the Hard Rock Show page. I put up a long write-up. I don't know if you remember that one, Dave, but I put a massive write-up. And it was huge. And that went off. I was like, AJ did some good things, but it was time for him to get out. And it wasn't long after that it all fell apart anyway. But
he did some shonky shit. He wasn't paying people. I mean, I think he still owes Judas Priest like 25 grand.
Yeah, I know some people have had dealings with him, and I haven't heard anyone say anything good about him. So I'll put that out there for what it's worth. It's all obviously secondhand information, but no, he's a character. Let's put it that way. And I'm thinking that the scene here is better off without his input these days. Had a good start and then fucked it up. And buying Big Day Out for $1 was just, what the fuck? There's shit going shonky there. Like, that was just. Yeah. Because there we go. We're going into an AJ Matter bashing session here, which we always like to do on the show. But
I hope that we're going to get somebody else will now have to come along and do something. I mean, we had, I guess, downloads come out here now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We had one. You had one out here, didn't you?
We had two. I think we got two.
Yeah.
We got two that actually went ahead.
Yeah, went ahead and COVID.
Two of them went ahead, right? Okay.
Yeah, and then COVID fucked it.
And then the last one got canned because of COVID.
Yeah. That was one.
But that's a British festival.
Yeah.
And I think they're in Paris now as well.
Yeah, they're doing a few. The one over in Europe is actually going ahead. It's actually kind of funny because we're going to be talking about this in a little bit as well. We're going to do a little bit of well, actually, let's do it now. Fuck it, we're here. What are the odds What are the odds? This is a new game I've sort of come up with, and you're here, Conrad. You may as well have chime in on these ones too. Let's do it quickly. This little new game called What Are the Odds? And Dave and I both come up with a topic each. And the first one of these ones is what are the odds of Download returning to Australia in 2023? So it's just basically a case of, do you think it's 50-50, 60-40 against, 70-34 kind of thing? It's just a quick little idea. What do you think the odds are of Download Festival happening in Australia in 2023? Seeing as it was my topic of discussion to come up with first, I'm going to go with like 80-20 against. I don't think it's happening. I think that we'd have had some sort of rumblings or announcement. Download Festival Australia haven't posted anything at all since the last one was cancelled. There's been no social traction. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot because suddenly they'll just post something and everyone will go, oh my God, and spread it like wildfire. But I just think that they're posting pretty avidly about the stuff going on in Europe at the moment, which is cool. I just don't think it's financially feasible yet to bring it to a country like Australia that's so far away. So I'm not ruling it out entirely, but I'm putting it like 80-20 against. What do you think, Conrad? Do you think that sounds fair, or you got different?
I think that's about right, because judging on what I've seen since I've been back over and just seeing the scene here, it's too much of a financial risk for the investors to do it. For the people that put the money up and bring that out, I mean, it costs a shit ton to put something like that on. Yeah. And if the financial climate isn't right, and it's just going to fail. And if you fail that, and that's it, you've gone under. You can't recover from that, So one, you come out here and do that, and you might do how many would they do each city?
They did the East Coast last time.
So they do Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. 3. Yeah. Now, if that goes fucking south and you don't make your money on it, then it's not coming back.
Yeah.
So you've got to get it right. So I'd say probably wait another year.
Yeah.
And it'll be 2024.
Yeah.
I'd say. Yeah.
Yep. About you, Dave?
Yeah, similar. As you mentioned, if it was going to happen, we would be hearing something pretty soon, or we would have heard it already. And plus, there are big shows that are happening, but as far as a big festival, I don't think it's worth the risk because, the cost of living has gone up, petrol's gone up, freight's gone up. To bring something like that over, it's not going to be worth your money or your risk.
And the Australian dollar isn't doing so well. No. So that has a lot to do with it.
It does.
Because I remember when we had our dollar was as good as the US at a few years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, but we were pretty much on par with the US, and everyone was touring. Everyone was coming here.
It was great.
It was great. It was fantastic, and that's why.
Yeah.
Because it was affordable. Anyway.
Cool. All right. So the other topic then, Dave, was yours. So how about you lead us into that one? What are the odds tonight?
Yeah, it was just a very old discussion, but the odds of CDs making a comeback. And I was about 25 against. I mean, I'd love them to come back. I think vinyl is probably the go-to at the moment. I think CDs are just convenient and cheaper. I can't understand why people pay $50 for an album when they were complaining about paying $20 for a CD a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer physical media. I know digital convenient, but I can't see it happening. And whenever I go to JB Hi-Fi, my daughter is starting to get interested in buying CDs. Yeah. I keep telling her, back in the old days, sweetheart, there was CDs as far as the eye could see. Now there's a fucking wall over in the corner with a few CDs.
Yeah.
But I know I'm a dinosaur, but I'd like to see it happen, but I don't think it's going to.
So what are your realistic odds? What do you really think? 25% against, like 25, 75 against?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's easier to buy a cassette player now than to buy a CD player.
It's actually funnily true. Yeah, that's a thing, Conrad. I can see your reaction there. You're like, wow. What do you think there on that note? What are your thinking of the odds of that one?
I think if CDs become more affordable, you bring them down to $10, $7 to $10, then obviously people will buy CDs. Yeah. But when they're $20 to $30, no.
Yeah.
They're not gonna bother. You make them 7 to 10, then
I mean, the price of vinyl's going up, and more
it's
people.
Insane. I was going to buy that new Megadeth record on vinyl. That's $80. Fuck off. $80 from JB. Fuck off.
Yep.
Not happening. But they're selling. I don't get it.
I know it's insane. I'm like, nah, you're taking the piss.
I don't agree with the price point. I think it's wrong. I think the CDs need to be cheaper, and so does vinyl for that matter. But I think with vinyl, not that I agree, but it's more easily justified because the packaging, the whole product, it's a bigger medium. It's easier to convince people to buy it for that kind of money.
When you got the gatefold, you got the big gatefold, the double vinyl, and you got all the liner notes and all the pictures.
You can make it a big deal for the $80 you can get a bit. For a CD, it does need to come down in costs. I'm probably again sort of 20-80 against kind of a thing. I don't think they'll make a comeback like vinyl is. I think vinyl, it'll be a choice between vinyl and digital. If you're going to go to the expense or the effort of setting up a home sound system with a physical medium, you get more bang for buck with vinyl than any other platform via CD or cassette or 8-track or whatever else we want to fucking come up with these days. But so I think vinyl gives the most bang for buck. Otherwise, everything's moving digital. Your cloud, your TV services, all that sort of stuff is moving digital. It's just the way people want convenience and ease. It's also, let's put it into some real world shit here that's really annoying to think about. But hey, the space required to store some collections, vinyl is not that hard to store, and the cost is kind of like justifiable when it comes to storing it and all that stuff. To buy a bunch of CDs, they just feel clunkier to keep a whole lot of them, and for what you get out of it, the little fold out versus a vinyl, that I just don't think it's that effective. And when it comes down to it, if you're going to spend $30 on a CD, you'd rather spend $70-$80 on a vinyl, because I think the product is better overall, just as an overall medium. But then when it comes down to when it costs, X amount to rent a house or buy a house, and you're getting less bang for buck on that side of things, that's where streaming services become more important. So digital is easier to justify a cost of, as opposed to spending how many on CDs. If CDs were $7 and $10, different conversation. But until that happens, we won't be getting it at that rate. And like Dave said, it's actually cassette players are making more of a comeback than CD players are these days, which is
as in Walkmans. As in
actual little ghetto blasters.
You mean like boom boxes, like ghetto blasters?
Yeah,
boom blocks. Yeah. Okay, all right.
And little stereo.
Showing my age here by calling them ghetto blasters.
Yeah, I call them too. My daughter wanted a CD player stereo for Christmas of her birthday months ago. So I was looking around, like I could find cassette players, but actually I had to drive fucking ages to find a JB Hi-Fi that actually had the CD player little stereo mini system. So I get it for it. It was easier to just go up and find the fucking cassette player.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's strange how things are secular.
And it's if you jump on the JB Hi-Fi website, and there's the cassettes they've got are new bands. We're not talking retro bands. It's all fucking artists I've never heard of.
I've seen the new releases, like that new Megadeth record that's coming out is going to be released on cassette.
Yeah.
As well as CD and vinyl. There's going to be
cassette
as well.
Always.
I was like, who buys cassettes these days? But
it doesn't sound good. It just doesn't. Like, what's the point?
I just don't like the idea of them chewing.
No.
Yeah.
I hate them when they chew. You put it and it chews. It's like,
Yep.
You've chewed up a fucking. I can't.
All these airheads when the tape gets pissed on and then eaten by the goddamn. Think of.
Dilapidated.
That's true. We have missed a lot of comments. I'm going to quickly go through some comments here. Vinny's gone over Dave for SingStar on stream. I have footage of Dave doing SingStar stuff.
Fuck, you do too.
I do.
No.
Dave could sing some Ailstorm, which is a very definite possibility. Getting a few rums in Dave, and he'll do that. Vinny's going, great debut, Conrad. Thor has nothing on you. So there you go. You're getting some love there, Conrad. Well done.
Thank you.
And Darren saying, very true, Conrad. AJ is a complete tosser, which we all know about. Mal's gone, he's a sober Vince Neil. I'm not sure who is a sober Vince Neil, but that's all right. I'm not sure.
You're saying I'm fat? Calling me fat?
I think you put yourself in that bucket earlier on. And Jeff says Countdown and Rust, I believe that these two albums were the peak of their career, especially for the rhythm section. Menza and Ellison undoubtedly good. Sad that it'll never happen again. That's very true, just to bring things back down to a more serious note there. But yeah, very good comment there, Jeff. Thank you for sharing. Sally's gone, Conrad's a natural 9 out of 10. So there we go, more love. Darren says the silence is deafening. I think it's us responding or not responding to. Oh no, silence is deafening about to download. Sorry, fucking hell, my mind goes all over the joint. Vinny says 95.5 against the economy is stuffed globally at the moment. That's a very good point too. It's not just us; it's actually globally that it's fucked. Jeff says, let's hope the download happens again. I think COVID fucked everything 50-50. My drink is always half full. Nice. TC, another comment here. More chance of my hair growing back than download returning. So there we go. At least there are treatments for that, Tim. Jeff's gone. I think I did. Jeff's gone. That's actually wrong. With the low Australian dollar compared to the American dollar, that means that their money buys more than it would be if it was on par. That's kind of true. It's a bizarre one, the world economy there. Vinny says Dad used to tape shows, which is interesting. Tony says 2 chances of download happening, Jack and shit, and Jack left town, I'm pretty sure as well. So there we go. Rowan says on the CDs argument, I still buy CDs but immediately convert them to MP3s. I wonder how many people still do that. I do genuinely wonder about that because everyone did that to convert it onto their iPod or whatever else. I wonder how many people still do that. But Darren says it wasn't where the CDs disappeared. Buy them all the time. Depends where you're going, but as a well, here's a good comment actually because Mel says can't get a CD player in a new car either. That's true. It's all Bluetooth connectivity now. You can't get.
I got more CDs through Discogs now. You can pick them up $5 each.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're looking,
yeah, you got to go to the right place. Tony says CDs are still cheap historically compared to seeing a band live. I remember in 1985, a CD was $30. A ticket to Iron Maiden was $18.90. 37 years later, a CD is still $20 to $30, and Iron Maiden ticket is $150. That's a good point. They're different rates of inflation on things. That's interesting. Good point. Very good point, Tony. Rowan says very difficult to buy CDs of all the music I want to buy, though, so I mostly buy digital now, like the new Steve Vai album, Elijah Sharp and JB Hi-Fi. Yeah, he was saying in a chat today that listening to that and Ghost, I think it was. So yeah, the availability aspect of things is actually a real thing as well to be out because people want it now. People know they can have it now. It's harder to convince them to wait for something if they know they can listen to it today. Andrew, good to see you, buddy. He's going to start out mid-70s buying vinyl. I would take them for the car. CDs came along. I fell for the technology hype. Wife, too, convinced me to sell my vinyl in the mid-90s. Damn, man, that would hurt me.
You're divorced now, aren't you?
My heart breaks when I hear stories like that. It's painful. Rowan's gone, I'm waiting for the industry to cycle back to wax cylinders. Give it time.
Yeah, that was right.
It happened.
Yeah, one take.
Yeah.
One take. Right.
8 tracks.
Yeah, that's it. Andrew says, I do have some mostly local vinyl again, which is nice. Okay, you're getting some collection back. Basher says, in my opinion, vinyl has its best sound and packaging. CDs are good at the lower price, but cassettes, you are kidding. They fuck up often, and I used to sticky tape them together. I think we've all done that.
Yeah.
How much does a record, a decent record? I bought vinyl. I buy vinyl, but I don't play it because I just buy it to have it.
Yeah.
But I don't actually own a record player. I can't afford a decent record player. You're looking at what? 500.
Yeah, you'd want to spend. Yeah.
And that's the problem. If you buy vinyl, it sounds shit. If it's on a shitty record player, it's going to sound terrible. You've got to have a decent record player to play vinyl on.
Yeah.
That's where you spend the money, is on a decent record player.
Yeah. Yeah. Down the line, hopefully, you can get that sorted out. But the flip side is that you're still buying vinyl over CDs, if it makes sense, because you can listen to everything on streaming services. So that's the debate in and of itself. Andrew said here, I do put CDs into a USB for the car. Well, there you go. Wow. Jeff Don Conrad's cool reminds me of the singer from on Amarth. So there we go. That is a win. There we go. There we go. Good to see you, Josh.
Start swinging a hammer around.
We're going everywhere tonight. Joshua's jumped in and said, I'm putting out my new album on CD and selling it for $25 because of all the effort that's gone into the artwork and the full lyric booklet. And that makes perfect sense as well. Like, yeah. And well done, Joshua. I'm looking forward to the new album too, by the way. So, yeah, make sure you let us know when that's out. I do want to hear when that comes out. And Vinny says you can find some great deals at record fairs around Melbourne. You can if you know what you're looking for. Yeah. That's very, very true. Darren, here we go. For a half decent turntable between 750 and 1,000. So there we go. It does get up there.
Okay.
It does get up there.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
One in a hurry.
Yeah, well, hopefully he can rectify that sooner rather than later. Is there anything else you wanted to say while you're here, Conrad?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much. Cheers for having me. I hope I didn't bore the shit out of your audience, and I hope you'll have me back sometime soon.
Definitely. We'll do it all again soon, I'm sure. It's been an absolute blast. Thanks for that, mate. Really do appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
All good. Cheers. Take it easy.
Cheers, man.
Indeedy.
Cool. All righty. I'm
no good with modern technology. I'll leave studio.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
No, you have to leave.
There we go. We got there in the end. You can go and just enjoy the show now. Tony's going 15K for a laser turntable. Fuck. All right. Wayne's gone take care to Conrad, which is cool. Fucking hell. Vinny, we'll get it next time. Say it, Conrad. Where's my hammer? There we go. All right. We'll do the last couple of reviews in a second. But before we do that quickly, let's get onto the hot topic. We've done things in different order tonight. We're going to rapid fire through the last little bits and pieces here tonight. But yeah, the hot topic originally planned for things was to just remember that announcement in 2012 for the lineup for 2013 Soundwave to get away from the bashing and stuff, which is always fun. I enjoy it. Believe me. But just to think about this lineup for a second, the first announcement had Metallica, Linkin Park, Blink-182, Perfect Circle, Offspring, Paramore, Garbage, Tomahawk, Stone Sour, Caius Lives, Anthrax, Sum 41, Dragon Force, All Time Low, Flogging Molly. Goes to fuck it. There's heaps, man. Like, you go through it. Announcement 2 had Killswitch Engage, The Vandals, Orange Goblin, The Sword, Chelsea Grin, and more. And then the third announcement had Slayer. The second announcement. That was the third announcement before. Sorry, my bad. Second announcement had Slayer, Cypress Hill, Bullet for My Valentine, Bring Me the Horizon, and many, many more as well. So it was a crazy time when that happened. And yeah, it was, the big four without the fourth fucking band, which they were so close to having. What are your memories of that announcement and how it sort of felt for you? Because I'm not sure, you were just watching us then. We weren't really talking a whole lot then, were we, you and I? So
yeah. Occasionally I comment on the page, but yeah, I didn't met you yet. But yeah, that was before my son was born, but Jade was still little, so it was a very busy time in my life, so I couldn't go. But I remember when it was unfolding, I'm just like, holy shit, when they're announcing Megadeth, when's it going to happen? And then but yeah, and I'm kicking myself I didn't go because that Metallica set list, if you look it up, so it's like, oh fuck, they just went old school. They kicked it off with Hit the Lights, and then they pull out like Left Messiah, Black and Damage Incorporated. Like, yeah, that would have been a fucking insane gig. Yeah. But yeah, just Anthrax and Slayer also on the gig, and then Stone Sour and Fozzy. But yeah, it's just one of those ones that got away from me. But yeah, be nice if we had something like that coming up. Every time, and yeah. It's a moment in time that can't be replicated, but it was cool to see it all happen from afar for me.
I miss that feeling of hype, like the hype around it. Like Download came close to replicating the same sort of hype for me. Like Download was close to come since probably that particular Soundwave lineup, and that. I liked the Download lineup. Don't get me wrong. I think it's both lineups have been great here in Australia, but I think it was a factor to enjoying the Download hype so much was that it had been so long that we've been starved for a heavy festival as well. It had been a while. We'd seen Big Day Out collapse. We'd seen fucking Soundwave collapse in a stunning manner. My God, may that never happen again. And then it had been a while, and we kept hoping every year that something to come up. And then Download decided to step in and fill the void, and they fucking did a great job. So, that hype there. But when that announcement came out, when you had three of the big four on that lineup, and everyone's just going, come on, make it happen. And you were this far away from making it happen. It was like the way social was playing out, everyone was just refreshing the feed constantly. The amount of conjecture, hype, conversation, all of it. Like, it was... I don't remember anything being quite like that before or since. Maybe, like I said, Download comes close, but just the general conversation amongst everyone was stunningly positive. Like, come on, let's do it. But the show itself was great. I went and I fucking loved it. It was for me about the third time seeing Metallica, which, you know, I just spent a lot of time up near the bar. I didn't need to be close for that one. I'd seen them up close, you know, a couple of times. So I was like, I'll go up and just sit by the bar and watch the show because the setup was great. Like you could see the show. The speakers were up at the right distances, so there was no lag kind of thing. You know, you get over long distances, you get the delay kind of thing. They set it up right so you can get the delay going on. Did a great job with it all, and it just, you know, the amount of people that were there, it was just a fucking phenomenal time. But yeah, just the announcement itself, just looking back on it, 10 years ago, we all lost our minds because it was a week ago, 10 years ago, that announcement, the first announcement came out, and it was just, fuck. What happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look back and like, what the fuck? Like, I want that feeling back again. It's like your Christmases all came on. So I know you can't get it every year. It's not going to be the case. But I said, download are as close as it's come since, and that was pretty bloody special. But I'm hoping that the next announcement, whenever we do get one, be it download or something else that comes into the fray, I do hope that we get that same feeling back again sooner rather than later. I know it'll be a while yet, maybe 2025 if we're being really honest with ourselves. But yeah, I just fingers crossed because that was a special time. I just remember it being a really special time, and everyone was just fucking really. I was well and truly in the trenches doing this. Dave, you were more on the fan side. Did it feel like the same thing to you? Did it feel like it was just a really?
Man, just fucking because you knew about the Big Four. I had the DVD. I'd seen all the interviews, and just like, holy shit, it's coming to Australia. This little island down the bottom of the world, and these bands are coming here. It was like fucking insane. I mean, I can't believe it's been 10 years, but you know, in hindsight, I should have found a way to just fucking go. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Just like, I want to, but I can't. I got fucking responsibilities, and
some things are more important, Dave. You'll get more than a pass for your kids.
Just that fucking Metallica set list alone, even if it wasn't for all the other bands, it's just like, holy shit, you don't do a set list like that all that often.
It was a great show, man. Like, that's not saying to rub it in, but it did live up to it. When you watched it in person, it was fantastic. Yeah, it was cool. How many times have you seen Metallica now?
I haven't.
Oh, really?
Something has always come up. It's just one of those fucking bands.
A unicorn.
I always get screwed when Metallica come.
Wow.
No, I actually was going to go, and then they cancelled when they're here with Slipknot. Nothing always comes up with this band. And for a band that's been like one of my favorites for over 30 years, you'd think, but no. The same thing happened with Maiden. I only saw Maiden for the first time the last time they were here.
Oh, wow.
And that almost ended up being the time I had to pull out at the last minute because my son was sick all night.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't get Julius. Just go. I got it. It's okay. He had like gastro. But he was okay by the next day. And Julius was like, just go. But I was like, you sure? I just go. Because, like 2 times before I was ready to go see Maiden. I had to pull out the last minute. Just like, I get fucking screwed when it comes to these big bands that I like.
You did see Guns N' Roses, though.
Yeah. And they're I'm going to see them again, second time. Be my third time seeing them. But,
I should do a thing on unicorn bands one day. Bands we haven't seen yet, because we haven't had that conversation for a while. It's unicorn bands.
Aerosmith.
There's a few for me still. But I've seen most on my actual to die bucket list going. I've seen most, but there's still some on there that are unicorns for me. All right. Sorry?
That'd be a fun conversation.
It would be. We should do that. Try and get a few more people involved in it too. What do we got here? We'll go to some comments, then we've got a couple of reviews to go, and then we'll get out of here, people. Rowan says, if I had a band, I would name it, and many, many more to make it confusing when people read up festival lineups. That's a good trick. I like that one, Rowan. That's a good one. Here we go. Jeff says, in the next 12 months, we'll have a very effective vaccine for the variants. That will bring a lot more opportunities for bands and festivals to come back. I think deep down people want to go. I do agree, but people I also think at the same time do want it to be safe to go as well. I think outdoor festivals have definitely got a better chance than the indoor ones. Let's put it that way. Yes, here we go. I was wondering about this one. Nude says, do you remember the Soundwave and that was planned for mid-year about 12 years ago, which had Alice and Van Halen as headliners and got canned? That was Soundwave Revolution. And if you go way, way back, I think that Shane and I did an episode dedicated to that way, way back on the early days on the YouTube channel. So there you go. Soundwave Revolution was the title of that one. We had tickets to that, and the tickets were fucking great. And it got cancelled, and that was the beginning of the end, I think, in that regard. Do you remember that one at all, Dave?
I do remember it, yeah.
That was another one too. Darren says, love the festivals, get to see so many different bands, and the vibe is fantastic. And that's the cool thing too. The vibe is just something else. There we go. Mal says, I had tickets for that show, never had seen Van Halen. And that's a shame now when you look back on it. Like, if we'd have been able to go, like, that was the thing. Having Van Halen on that bill was the point. Like, fuck. Wish that had happened now, especially in hindsight. But oh well. Chris says, went to Soundwave on the Saturday when the Clipsal 500 on the Sun, and then the Clipsal 500 on the Sunday is a Kiss and Crew. That's a great weekend, man. That is a great fucking weekend. I forgot about that Kiss and Motley Crue at the Clipsal 500. That was something special. They should do more of that. Crossing over sports and gigs, that would be fucking brilliant. Comments are pumping through now. So Darren says, missed out on Soundwave 2013. Well, you can get in the commiseration bucket with Dave there. News says Aerosmith were meant to be on it, but pulled out. That's why it was scrapped. And that's true as well. Aerosmith were meant to be, and then they ducked out. And then people were hoping that Van Halen would be enough, and apparently it wasn't. So, yeah, that was that's a shame. Vinny says one of my biggest regrets was not seeing the Powderfinger and Silverchair farewell tour. We can combine this chat about unicorn bands with regrets. That's an interesting conversation. That's a good one there. Thank you, Vinny. All righty. 2 more reviews. We'll get these ones done. We've done everything else, haven't we, Dave? From memory?
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
All right. If we haven't, we'll do it another time. First up is the Aussie band for this week, and that is Psycroptic. The link is in the comments in the description box. So the band is Psycroptic. The track is Enslavement. That is your reference track for our next review coming up. Just quickly, Andrew has jumped in. Sorry, a couple of quick comments there. Basher says, Dave, same as Metallica was not meant to be for us so far. Last time cancelled, got a CD before it cancelled. Still on my bucket list. Wow. I feel really blessed to. The first time I saw them was overseas, actually, not even in Australia. So there we go. I saw them in a town called Erfurt in Germany, which was fucking phenomenal. What do we got? Andrew says, saw Aerosmith at Rod Laver a few years ago. Steven Tyler, even at his age, so much charisma live. Crowd went wild for Walk This Way. I bet they fucking did. Fuck me. That I still man for me. I haven't seen yet is Aerosmith. Alrighty, but back onto the order of things tonight. 2 more to go, and this is Psycroptic with Divine Counsel. Your reference track is in the description box and the comments. That is Enslavement, but this is the album. So Psycroptic, Divine Counsel, 9 tracks, 39 minutes. The 8th studio album from the Tasmanian band, released August 2022 via EVP Recordings and Prosthetic Records. Produced by the band, mixed and mastered by guitarist Joe Haley. A handful of singles have been released from this, including Render Sunday and Exodus. This is the first album from the band since 2018's A Kingdom Drowns. We've had a lot of love for these guys over the years, so let's see if the trend continues this time around. And Dave, let's go to you.
Yeah, this is brutal, unrelenting, and ultra heavy. If you're familiar with the band, you'll know exactly what you're going to expect. If you're not familiar, yeah, pace yourself, because this is fucking full on. The drummer is an absolute fucking beast. I mean, the guitars are actually quite mid-tempo and very melodic, but the constant double bass drumming is what gives it its brutal feel, and it's, as I've mentioned, unrelenting. Fucking. Lyrically, it focuses on some pretty bleak and a dark outlook on society and the future. If you're into that type of stuff, if you're into that type of stuff, this will make you feel happy, I suppose. I did like the lyrics to Render Sunday. I thought they were really well done. Bleak and confronting, but fuck, they really hit the nail on the head for all the things. At times it can be a challenging listen. I can do 3 or 4 songs, and then I have to have a break, and I have to come back to it, kind of refresh the palette. Because not something you just want to listen to passively. You want to be paying attention. It demands a lot from the listener, and if you're I'm not really into the heavier stuff like all the black metal that Tim is, but if you're in tune to that, you can really appreciate this. But if you're a musician, you can't not be impressed by what they're doing here. It's not all like black metal recorded in a tin shed, just heavy for heavy's sake. There's a lot of thought into this composition. So a lot of thought has to be given from the listener.
Yeah.
I haven't heard everything that this band has released, but what I have heard, they're certainly unique. And yeah. But I like the guitar work, especially on Enslavement. It's just all over the place towards what I guess is a solo, but it's one way to describe it as like Frank Zappa, but for metal. There's like a bit here, a bit there. Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah. But overall, I give this album 8 out of 10. Render Sunder and Enslavement were my standouts. But yeah, give it a go. If this isn't in your wheelhouse, but it's certainly, they're an interesting band and very, very good at what they do.
Well, spoiler alert, I've had a very good week this week when it comes to the music we've reviewed. Excuse me if my voice is starting to conk out. This one, I'm a bit more into this style of music than you are. I'm not as heavy into it as original Tim is, but I do enjoy this style of music when it's done very well, and this is really fucking good. Especially like the point you made about it deserving the focus from the listener. I think that's incredibly true. The more you give to this album as the listener, the more you're going to get out of it, and that is the real story of this one for me. I was able to listen to it passively and I enjoyed it just fine. The deep dive listener, when I sat down, put the headphones on, made my notes and all sort of stuff, that was when I was like, oh fuck, there's so much more to take in on this one. It's intense but technical, and in its own way it's beautiful too. These guys have their own way of doing things. They're not quite like anyone else out there. In the world of heavy music, it's hard to stand out like these guys do, and they do a very, very good job of it. For as intense as this is, and it is intense, don't make any bones about it, it's intense, but the way they use groove, particularly in tracks like the opening Render Sunder and also Enslavement, that's really damn cool. There's a great feel to this that gives it some serious swing, and it's one of those ones where if you were to sit there and see a live show, you just feel it go off. It will just go nuts live. What I really enjoyed about this band, what sets them apart for things for me is the tones on it all. There's a real clean side to this one, especially in the guitar tones. And that's where the difference for these guys sonically really stands out, is the way the guitar has been produced and mixed on this one does sound very different to a lot of, usually the guitar tone is really harsh and edgy. This one's really clean. Still got plenty of gain on it. Don't worry, it's still got distortion in gain, but there's a cleanliness to the tone, which is brilliant. That separation and clarity in the sound is just important to these guys, and it works so well. Between the composition and the clarity in it all makes this actually easier to take in than you might think too. Like Dave isn't as into this sort of stuff as I am, but even that you found it as easy to sort of take in and enjoy, even though you sort of had to walk away and come back. The style it is, that's actually pretty good for you kind of thing. That usually this style of stuff you don't really get into all that much, but this one, for it to actually do enough to drag you back, is a compliment in and of itself, as far as I'm concerned, knowing you the way I do. Even if this style of music isn't usually your thing, there's plenty here to enjoy, and I think you can check it out and listen to it and actually enjoy it deeply. The tonal layers are just worth it for that alone. There's the same thing with the vocals on the guitar. You have the cleanliness. The vocals, there's almost like a vocal by committee approach on this one. You've got Jason being the main man on the vocals here, but you've also got Jason Keys from Origin involved in things as well. And the different tones there add something really special to this. The different vocalists have their own unique tones, and they really do bring a texture to this that you don't hear anywhere else, to be brutally honest. I think it just is unlike anything else, and it sounds fantastic. With this style of music, you should expect great performances. You get that. There always are from these guys, but the composition and the gear changes really do bring the drama to these songs. Probably a lot more than I anticipated, to be honest. I think they've really stepped it up a notch in that regard. There's a lot of little things in this one that make it worth your attention. The attention to detail, the gear changes, those all make this album flow really nicely. There's even an epic, almost orchestral moment in Enslavement, which I think is just really, really cool. The whole album is engaging, especially like I was saying before on the deep dive. There's heaps to take in that regard, especially like I was saying, the deep listen. Like I said, you can listen to it casually, but you sit down with this one either, in your darkened room with the speakers, or you put your headphones on, and there's just heaps to take in. It just sounds fantastic. And there's lots of layering, and I'll get to some more detail on this in a second. For me, this one is one you can immerse yourself in. It gets better with each spin as well. I think it grows on you more and more. there's so much depth to explore in this one. Don't give it one pass and think you know the album. You don't. You got to give this one a good 5, 6, 7 spins to really get intimate with this release. If you give it that time, it'll reward you tenfold. I think it's almost a sneaky kind of a gateway record. For people that aren't normally into this style of music, this might be one of those ones that does grab more than it loses kind of thing. I think it's one of those kind of records. And just on the sonics, the mix is fantastic in this one too. The little things brought into the light. There's a lot of depth in this one too. It's not punishing in the it's brutal musically, but the sonics aren't punishing. It's really easy to actually listen to. There's no tricks, but the balance is perfect for that regard. There's a few little points of difference in this one. Some more experimentation, especially in the last few tracks on the album, which keep it interesting toward the end. There's an almost instrumental aspect to the track of Waiting, which is really cool. And there's a more melodic approach on tracks like A Fragile Existence, which is nicely done. But all through the album, that's one of the details that really is important. All through the album, there's these female vocal touches, which I believe are done by Amy Wiles. They just bring something special to this album. It's one of those ones where you don't really hear on the casual path. It's sort of just in the background there. But when you give the deep dive, what they bring to this sound is just simply second to none. There's basically 3 vocalists on this doing very different things. And it just is something special. This is one you really got to check out. I think that that vocal touch from Amy is just great. The way this closes with Exodus, that the way it fades out at the very end of the album is just great way to cap it off too. It's dramatic. It fits the end of the album nicely, but on that particular track, Amy's vocals really do bring that song to life. I think this is a fantastic album. Even if you're not normally into this style of music, you've got to check it out and give it some serious time because it will reward you. I think it's brilliant. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Get onto it. I picked Rend Asunder, Enslavement, and Ashes of Our Empire as my standouts, but there's a lot of good tracks on this one, a lot of good tracks. So please do check it out and let us know what you think out there. Sorry, I'm sort of croaking away. I hope can you hear me okay, Dave? Just to make sure it's all coming clear.
Yep.
Cool. One more review to get through. We have some comments first. Conrad, he's gone, just to annoy you, Dave, I have seen Metallica 27 times now, Guns N' Roses on the Appetite Tour as well. So there we go. And Conrad also says Axel DC was also a killer in London, so he's seen pretty much everything, which is pretty cool.
I was just starting to like you, man.
Jeff says Metallica in 97 on the Cunning Stunts. Yeah, I got the video of that one, actually, the cassette.
Yeah, me too.
A tour in Canada with the freezing winter was amazing. It was minus 30 outside, plus 30 inside. We'll never forget it. It was hot as fuck. No. That's awesome, man. Great story. Vinny says my ears are too old for Psycroptic, bit too much for me. Plus, if you watch the vocalist, he's headbanging and twerking simultaneously. I can't comment on the videos, but no, I love the band. Nude says, catch you lads, about to start on channel 44, which was 6 minutes ago now. Jumping on Facebook and seeing Bin for Nude, sorry. Jumping on Facebook and seeing Tommy Lee's dick. That is what we were referring to in our Instagram comments earlier on tonight. So yes, Nudes, we've all seen it. I think we're all going to keep seeing it for quite some time to come.
Let's keep it Pamela Anderson.
Darren says these guys are freaking awesome, but I've only listened to a couple of times, quickly becoming a favorite. Nice, good. What do we got? Conrad says black metal bands sound like they are recorded on a tape deck in a basement, but this clearly has a better budget. Definitely, Conrad. This one does sound beautiful. Bell, damn, these boys go hard. Favorite track from this album is Enslavement, as it has a hint of symphonic, which I am mad for. So bummed I missed their show on Saturday night here in Hobart. I reckon hearing those drums live would be amazing. That would be fantastic. They are local for you, Bell. So yeah, if you get a chance, go and see them because everything I've heard about them is absolutely fantastic. Alrighty, one more
real standout track because you liked it, I liked it, Bell liked it. Enslavement. Yeah.
That is a definite track. I reckon that's the reference one. Is it?
Which one? The Thunder was the reference?
No, actually, Enslavement was the reference to that one. So yeah, it does. Cool. The reference track is the highlight for everyone. So go and check that out. That's actually really fitting in a time and a way. All right, let's bring it home strong and change gears away from the heavy stuff. In the comments in the description box, you're going to see a little video or song from a band called H.E.A.T. H.E.A.T. H.E.A.T from Sweden. With their song Hollywood. That is your reference track for our final review and final bit of business for tonight. This is H.E.A.T with Force Majeure. Quickly, sorry, before we do, Sally says, I don't remember how many times I've seen Metallica. It's just all the way back to Festival Hall with the Justice Tour. That'd be fucking cool. I missed a few because of old knees, over 10 times easy. Nice. That's cool, Sally. Thank you for sharing. All right. But like I was saying, in the comments and in the description box, you'll see H.E.A.T with Hollywood while we go through the new albums. This is H.E.A.T with Force Majeure. 11 tracks for 42 minutes, the 7th studio album of the Swedish band, released August 2022 via Ear Music, produced by Jonah T with Dave Malone and Kenny Lacrimo at Studio Gröndal in Stockholm. Mixed by Tobias Lindell, mastered by Bjorn Engelman. 3 singles have been released from this, including Back to the Rhythm and Nationwide. This album sees the return of the original lead vocalist in Kenny Lacrimo for the first time since 2010, after the departure of Eric Ronwald, who is now in Skid Row. This is about had a lot of love for over the years. Jimmy was the first one to bring these guys to our attention way back when. So let's see if the lineup change had any impact on our feelings for this band, but I don't think it has, knowing who we are talking about here tonight. So Dave, off you go.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of this band for quite a few years now, thanks to Jimmy. But I'm not all that familiar with their earlier stuff. With their original singer. I started around Into the Great Unknown, which is a fucking fantastic album.
Yep.
So now they have their original singer back, and he's like the new guy for me. But it doesn't matter because he's got an awesome voice, and they've really just switched frontman. They haven't lost a step at all. This is like the natural progression for the band, even with a different frontman. But in short, this is a fantastic album. Now, the opening track, Back to the Rhythm, kicks off with a big bang, and they hold that energy for the duration of the album. If you like that song, you're going to like the rest of it.
Pretty much.
It's all about high energy rock and roll, inspired by the 80s, but in no way rehashing old ideas. It sounds fresh. It sounds new. Now, discovering new bands making music like this just makes me feel happy. It's the next logical step from 1992. When everything turned to crap in the 90s, I can pretend the 90s never happened. Now that we have bands like this and Eclipse and so many other bands coming out of the European countries, I'm just going to move over there. That place sounds fucking beautiful.
Europe is fun, man. Europe is fun.
Yeah, I think I'd fit in well there, actually. This is just a joy to listen to. Great vocals, hooky choruses, guitar work is awesome. The drums and bass sound great. I'd love to hear these songs live, and they're coming. They're coming to Melbourne very soon with Crazy Licks, so that's going to be a fucking great show. Short, punchy songs. Each one is done and dusted in under 4 minutes. It's funny I say that because I love epic prog metal.
That's something from you.
Metal songs, but I also enjoy straight up rock and roll. You know, it's weird. I like Dreamfield. I like Wednesday 13. I don't understand myself sometimes either. Production is nice and clean and clear, which is perfectly suited to this type of music. There's definitely a band I reckon that could be played in stadiums. I know the number of stadium rock bands are declining as they get older and older. We need to replenish the ranks, and this is the band I reckon has the talent, and I reckon they deserve to hit that level. So everyone, tell your friends and get them to listen to it so they can build up their popularity. But 8.5 out of 10. Back to the Rhythm, Nationwide, Hollywood, One of Us, and Paramount are my standouts.
Nice. One of Us is a good ballad, isn't it?
It is.
No, that's really
good. Change of feel for the album.
Yeah, and on that note, I mean, everyone, you listen to melodic hard rock and all that sort of stuff, and you think that, I mean, one of my notes here is that it's an interesting point. This is released via Ear Music and not Frontiers, because if it was Frontiers, you expect ballads. When it's Ear Music, you don't. And there's only really one ballad, to be honest. 1 or 2 ballads on here. This is not ballad heavy at all. This is melodic hard rock, not a ballad fest, not even close. This is big, it's energetic. There's huge hooks on this one as well. What's old is new again vocally, and it's fantastic for me. The energy is really infectious. It's hard not to get sucked into this release while listening to it. While with, Eric going out of things to do other stuff, notably Skid Row, other projects too, you might have lost sort of just pure raw grunt with him going on, but you swapped that out with a more pure, clean vocalist, if that makes sense. And for what these songs are, it's actually funny that, it's not funny. It's actually good that Kenny gets, writing credits on a lot of these songs too, and that it shows that it's a complete project with him being a fully involved member of the band. And that shows in the songs, if that makes sense. Like, his input is tangible. You can hear these songs, Eric. They've always been interchangeable in that regard. You can hear both singers doing any of their catalog. But what they do with Kenny is a different gear, because you're leaning into someone that's I don't know how to put it. It's without it. It's not meant to be. I just think that he's a nice, clean vocalist that serves these particular songs with his writing input on them incredibly well. I think both have moved into great seats. Like I think Kenny coming into H.E.A.T is a great fit, and I think that Eric moving into Skid Row is a great fit. I think this is actually a perfect outcome, which is extremely rare. Like you don't get this kind of a shift happening and it working out so nicely for everyone. And I think it's actually really refreshing and great to see because they both hit home runs, which is, like I said, fucking rare. It never happens that everyone involved gets knocked out of the park and it's just done. Like this is a win-win-win for the bands, the members, and the fans, and that never, ever happens. This is like a unique moment, so enjoy it while you can. The grooves and the riffs on this one are all you want from this style of music. It's got that in spades. The lead work is a little bit back in the mix here and there, but it's really cool. Like the lead work is really well done. It's one of those ones where you got to sit back and sort of just make sure you pay attention a little bit more. But that actually makes you focus on the songs a lot more too, because what it's doing in the background is dragging you in, which allows the punch of the overall sound, the sonics, the punch of the drums and the bass and the rhythm guitar and the vocals, that really does pound into your head while you're trying to pick up the lead guitar. It's very clever, very well done, and I really do enjoy it. It's got a huge sound. The mix is great. It serves all the songs well. It's big and punchy. There's heaps of depth, though. Like I'm saying, you've got to... there's a trick to pulling you in via the layering to sucking you into the listener as a listener, but then, you know, bombarding you at the same time with the overall sonics of it. And it's just doing it well with that balance and depth is hard to do, and they've done it very, very well. Tones across this are brilliant. The vocals are the centerpiece, as they should be, with Kenny. Is a great fucking vocalist. I mean, fuck, if you're going to swap out Eric, this is a good choice. Like, you can't get better than this. The flow is brilliant across this album as well. I think this is everything going for it in terms of melodic hard rock. It's so incredibly well put together. Like I was saying, though, it's not all power and wails. There are a few moments on this one that give you some lower register thoughts. It's easy to get caught into the higher vocal stuff, but tracks like Harder to Breathe give you some of the lower register vocal, which is nice on this one too. Some somber touches on this one as well. There's a bit of darkness mixed into all this sort of stuff, and there's some great storytelling lyrics too. I think the lyrics are really underrated in a lot of respects with what they do to these songs. Also in Harder to Breathe, I don't know if you picked up on it, David, there's that little ghost-like moment in the middle of the song where they change the gears composition-wise and they change the tones. The way I don't know if you heard it then, but maybe if you go back and listen to it now, you'll know the moment I'm talking about. You'll go, hang on, that sounds like I know what he's talking about. So if you go back to Harder to Breathe, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You better pick the moment out where it goes. It's for a few bars. It's not huge at all, but it's just a little nod, a little moment that I was like, okay, as a huge Ghost fan, that got my attention. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it just felt like that. You know, one of those things, there's those serendipitous little moments. But all across this one, across the board, the writing, the performances are fantastic. Expect no less from these guys, seriously. So much of this genre can feel really tired, but this one actually feels really invigorating, which is a huge credit to these guys and everyone involved in it. Like I said before, not a ballad-heavy album at all. There's lots of balls in this one. Only one or two sort of slower tracks on this one, not a lot. And I think that actually, what happens is those ballads actually stand out more because they're not as prevalent. They haven't leaned into trying to make you, suck you in emotionally. Like, every song has emotion to it, but they haven't tried to play that trope too hard. They've just done the right mix of balance in that regard, and I think it's a credit to them not to lean into that side too heavily and actually go heavier than I expected, if that makes sense, which is nice. And I think that, One of Us stands out because it is the one really pure ballad. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I think it stands out more than if you had a few of those songs, One of Us would stand out less. One of Us actually stands out because it's a rarity. It's an island on this album, which I think is really, really well done. I think this is a grower as well. It grabs you from the start. Don't get me wrong. The first listen will hook you. Like Dave said, the opening track, you'll know in 30 seconds you like this album. You'll know. But if you do get into it, it'll grab you from the start. But then as you listen to it more and more, it'll grab you more. It'll suck you in deeper as you listen to it. I've listened to this probably a half dozen times. I'm not tired of it at all yet. I think it's fantastic. It's well done. Back to my first comment. It's what's old is new again. And for these guys, if anything, it just feels like everyone is stronger than ever before in all parties involved in this one. The change was a win all round, which is rare. Like I was saying, if you like riffs and melody, get onto this one. It's fantastic. This will hook you immediately. It will not let you go. Well worth your time. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Like I said, I've had a good week this week. Hollywood, Tainted Blood, and Harder to Breathe are my standouts, but there are some great tracks all across this one. I think everyone's standout tracks are a bit different too, which is probably one of the more appealing aspects of this album as well for mine. All right, what do we got here? Got some comments to get through. Mal says, yes, Heat. That's why I tuned in tonight. Well, hopefully we did it justice for you, buddy. Hopefully you enjoyed that review. Conrad says, is this the guy that's in Skid Row now? No, Eric left this band to go into another project and then moved into Skid Row afterward. But the singer that is in Skid Row now used to be the vocalist for these guys. So that's where the crossover comes in, Conrad. Nicole says, I always liked this band. We've always liked this band here. It was funny that Jimmy got us onto this band so many years ago. I ripped into one song, but the rest of it's been pretty fucking good. Mal says, yep, both touring here soon. Yes, Skid Row and Pete are touring here soon. It's a good year in that regard. Back to Metallica for a second. Andrew says, took my son to see Metallica when he was 13. He had shoulder-length hair, was doing helicopters. His school friend was more jealous that we also saw Lamb of God. Hey, that's cool. Lamb of God are great. TC says, great to hear Kenny back in this band. I actually prefer him in this band. Eric is a beast of a singer, but I always thought he was better suited to a more hard rock band. Now he's joined Skid Row. I have the best of both worlds. And that is the point that I was making before. Very well put. Tim has summed it up neater than I have, which is very well done. TC says, if you haven't heard the early albums with Kenny, you need to fix that ASAP. So there you go, Dave. That's one for you.
We'll get on that.
Yeah. Mel says, Heat touring, then Skid Row with Eric. So much Swedish love. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, which is cool. Vinny says there was a Netflix doco showing on Netflix early in the COVID a couple of years ago, and one episode focused on the amount of success Swedes have had historically, both as artists and producers. It analyzed their ability to turn out so many hits across many genres. Highly recommend watching if anyone can chase it up. I'm very curious. I did not know that. You know what I mean? Producers yeah. Check that out for sure. That's one to look up for sure. I like this. Nicole says, parenting done right, Andrew. So there we go. I like that. That's cool. Basher says, love Heat. Can't wait to see them live soon. Haven't got any albums with Kenny, but this one's album review is very positive. But this album review is very positive. Mate, you won't be disappointed. He's a great fucking vocal. What do we got here? Bell. Cool. Okay, so my 12-year-old son and I both absolutely love Heat and have been counting down the weeks and days for the album's release. Every morning on the school run, I've been playing these 3 singles in the car. Great start to the day. Highly recommend. He was not happy that I didn't let him stay up late to watch this review. I'm sorry it's so late, Bell. I feel bad now. You can play it to him tomorrow. It'll still be online, so hopefully you can both enjoy it. So hopefully your boy enjoys the review because we both enjoyed the album, obviously. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Darren says, your son is one lucky boy, Andrew. That's true. TC says, if you like this one, check out the new Shiraz Lane album that drops tomorrow. Is that out tomorrow? I didn't know. Okay. Cool. Nice one. That's going to get on.
I didn't know that coming. That's cool.
TC, you got to keep me up to date, man. Cool. Shiraz Lane. Okay. Keen for that one. All right. Cool. There we go. I think I'm about croaking out. Is there anything else you wanted to add? TC says, I think it's tomorrow. Well, we better fucking hope so now.
Hope so now.
Now you've done that to us. Oh, man. But is there anything else you wanted to add there, Dave? Or do you think we've sort of covered most bases off tonight?
Yeah. I think we've come to our point now.
Yep. Cool. We've been here for a little while. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you all for your company. It's been a little while. We've made up for being a few hours into it tonight. Nicole says, my son's friends get Halloween or 5-finger death punch. They're heavy stuff. Right. Awesome. Cool. Nice. I'm happy with that. They're both good choices as far as I'm concerned. That's cool. But yeah, a huge thank you to some Patreon supporters, one of which you've seen tonight in Conrad. But also a shout out to TC, Sonia, Lee, Bill, obviously, who's here in the chat. Like I was saying before, Conrad's joined us. Jeff, Jason, Brendan, 16x9, Marty Powell, Sam, Trash, Carolyn, Gwyneth, Andrew, Daniel, Man Family, and Adam. Thank you so much for your support via Patreon. If you'd like to help us out in that regard, please check it out. Patreon page, the details for that are in the description box as well. We greatly appreciate it. And even just to look at it, just all that sort of stuff. Greatly appreciate the support. What have we got here? Sorry, Andrew says, "Hey, can I plug a gig in Adelaide on Sunday? Please do. Let us know, and I'll plug it now. So get in the chat and let us know, Andrew. Happy to do that." TC says, "Confirmed. It's tomorrow." There we go. So awesome. Shiraz Lane coming out tomorrow, Dave. So we can add that to the list as well. Jeff says, "Great show as always. Thank you so much for tuning in and for the kind words and for your support too. Thank you so much." Vinny says, "Just found that doco, lad. It's called This Is Pop." Okay, I remember that one now. I haven't watched it, but I remember it coming through. Okay, I didn't know it was to do with that. Okay, I'll have to definitely check that out. Yeah, I've got access to that one. Mala says, "Thanks so much, especially Swedish melodic rock." Yes, it's a great scene over there at the moment. Fantastic. Basher says, "Thanks, guys. Good to see you back. Was a joyous and informative show. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us tonight." And Jeff says, "Arch Enemy tomorrow as well." Yes, we did cover that earlier on the release list tonight. Probably before you joined in tonight, actually. But yeah, Arch Enemy definitely keen on that one tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not quite sure 100% what we're covering off next week yet. I shall have a quick look. I've got the classic album. Sorry, give me a moment here. Classic album is Faith No More's album of the year. I think the Aussie release will be. What have I got? I've got to scroll down this fucking playlist I've got to find the right spot. Nicolas Cage Fighter, I think, will be that one. The Aussie release, which is another heavy one as well there to go on with. That's next week's show. There'll be other stuff going on there as well. We don't know yet, but just keep following us, keep tuning in. Details for us are in the description box. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, give us a rating, and all that kind of crap that everyone gets you to do. I'm not going to fucking bore you to death with saying the same thing over and over again. Just what to do. Check us out, follow, all that sort of stuff. Get involved. And a big thank you, as always, to our fantastic sponsors in Squidding, Sprinkling, Alt Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Their details, just like ours, in that box. Go find them, give them a follow or a like. That'd be really appreciated too. It helps us here at the show. Andrew, that gig. Here we go. Hell's Abyss, Carla Jewel, H.E.A.T, Those Left Behind at Enigma Bar, Saturday the 13th. There you go, folks. Get on that one, please. If you're in South Australia, that is going to be a cracking gig. Carly Jewel, if you've never seen her live, unfuck that. She is absolutely fucking brilliant. That band is great. So go and check them out. I think H.E.A.T have an EP. I'll have to check that out as well. And Hell's Abyss, we reviewed the album recently too. They're fan. That album was really cool too a little while ago. So please do check that out as well. So there's August up there. Hell's Abyss, Carla Jewel and H.E.A.T behind Enigma Bar, Saturday the 13th in Adelaide. Go and check it out. That is a cracking lineup. That is really cool. Rowan says, "Faith No More with the horns," of course. We do love that. Darren says, "Cheers, guys. Great show. Well done for making it through, Andrew." Yeah, I'm struggling now, but I'm getting the proceedings. I don't know how well it's coming through or not, but it's heard.
It's not fun.
Cool. Nicole says, "Thanks, guys. Awesome night once again. Thank you for joining us. Love the company." And Man Family say, "Rock on." Thank you so much for jumping in as well. What do we got here? Bill says, "Thanks, guys. Sorry, Andrew, for having to read on my long post. My absolute pleasure. It's not a burden at all. I love it. I love the interaction and the comments going on. So please keep them coming." And Sally says, "Happy to have you back. Thanks for all the effort. You're most welcome. We do what we can. Apologies again for the last few weeks. We are getting out of here, though. I think that's about it. Anything else is just fucking fill at this point in time. So let's get to the bin and then let's get out of here. So, Dave, what are you putting in the bin this week?"
Influencers. Social media influencers on TikTok, YouTube, whatever fucking platform they want to use. The whole idea of taking clips, comments, and rumors from 20, 30 years ago and mixing it all together to fill your fucking agenda is pathetic. We've all done stupid shit in our lives. We've all said shit that we've regretted or we've lived and learned and become better people. But you dig up the past and you put a fucking spin on it and present it to the world, and there's a generation that just believe it as fact. And it's fucking pathetic. Not to get all biblical, but let thee who is without sin cast the first stone. Mm-hmm. No one's fucking perfect. I don't see how people are making a thing out of this shit. And then what pisses me off the most is they start this shit and then disable the comments. So nobody can offer an alternative view or, do exactly the same thing and point out their faults.
Yeah,
I find it a bit cowardly, actually. So influencers in the fucking bin.
I assume that's to do with Metallica and Stranger Things and that nonsense. Yeah, no, the thing is that people have to remember that we grow and change as the years go on. We're not born the way we die, or we're not born the person we are is the same. We're not the same when we die as we are when we're born.
It's a journey, and we all change over time.
And you only learn by making mistakes or having different experiences. And people are a product of their environment. There's a whole lot that goes into it. Yeah. Giving people a chance to grow and expand. If it's today, if a band is for something today, like when Pantera said the whole white wine thing and it was contemporary, I get that. You can cancel someone for that. But for digging up something that happened 30 years ago, that's kind of rich. Yeah. Anyway, I agree with you. I think there's got to be a balance out between allowing people to grow and change and learn.
Yeah. And you can't condemn someone for one action, one stupid comment, or one behavior when you were drunk and 20 years old.
Even
that's the case, I get crucified.
But even if you've got to allow people a chance to grow and move on, regardless, even if it's a pattern of behavior, you've got to give them a chance. If they blow the chance, that's something else. But you've got to give them a chance to grow and move on. Yeah, it's a bit too polarizing at the moment. My bin is short, sharp, to the point, which, in case you can't tell, the whole losing your voice and getting sick. And fuck off. Like it'll be bin on TV shortly. I'm doing it here for the stream as well. Fucking me. I'm still my head in. I'm still how many weeks we worked it out? Like it's been 3 or 4 weeks and I'm struggling now. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I'm struggling at the moment to get through. We'll get there. It's all good. It's not a complaint, but it's like I'm just tired of it being fucking so long. I just want it done with. Fuck off already. But yeah. I think that's about it. Got a few more comments quickly before we get out of here. Ooh, wow, okay. A few more comments. What do we got here? Sally says, yes, what Dave said, in the bin influences, which is cool. Darren says, had anyone got any update on the issuing of KISS tickets for next week? Dave, do you know anything about that?
I think there's still tickets for the third show on the Tuesday. That's what I'm going to. I think the Saturday and Sunday are sold out. I think there are still some tickets, but it's weird. I could only get it via mobile. I couldn't get it emailed, or I had to get a text message and then download it that way. But I think that's the only way that they're just the way they do it now. But yeah,
okay. Right. Okay. There we go. So yeah, check out the digital side of things. I don't think it's the physical side of things, Darren. I think it'll all be digital. So happy hunting in that regard. Hopefully you get a good result for you there. Nicole says, China in the bin. We currently have B-52 bombers flying around here. That'd be fucking annoying, to be honest. That wouldn't be a whole lot of fun. That'd be loud too. Hopefully that settles down sooner rather than later. That's a bit sort of annoying, if nothing else. Jeff says, some influencers are making millions by talking shit. Some people pay money to hear shite. Where do I sign up? If you want to pay people to talk shit, look it up. What happened to talk shit? Even my voice doesn't work. I'll do it. What do we got here? Vinny says, well said, Dave. I'm still on Facebook probation for another 16 days for comments made a couple of years ago. Chuck that in the fucking bin. Put a hash brown on it and send it to the internet. Wow. Okay.
Yes. Comic Con reference. Love it.
Nice. All right, cool. Nicole says, get better soon. I'm working on it. I'm there. It's just that whole fucking just got to build up the tank again, so to speak. But all right, that'll do us. Let's get out of here. Is there anything else you want to say, Dave, or are we gonna wrap it?
Nah, pretty enough.
All right, cool. We've set up it tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in for the first time in a long time. We do appreciate you being patient with us over the break. Wasn't planned. It's just one of those things that happened. But thank you all so much. We're back again next week, though, same time, place, barring some fucking catastrophe. But we will be back very, very soon. Hold on quickly. Nicole says they're actually quiet compared to the F-18 Hornets. That's true. I would pay that. Yeah, the F-18s would be a lot louder. And Andrew Marshall says, Alex Jones in the bin. Well, his finances are in the bin now, so good luck. Fuck him. He can go in the bin. And Jeff says the same thing. Alex Jones in the bin. There we go. Great minds thinking alike over on YouTube. David, good to see you, buddy. Love your work, legends. We'll be checking a new single in the near future as well. Have to get onto that one. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Look, that's it for now. I'll keep talking otherwise, and that's not going to do me any favors tomorrow. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, and all the usual shit on the way out. But we'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Andrew.
I'm Dave.
As always,
drink up
and rock on.